Hi, chat. Hello, hello. What is going on? What's going on? Why do I see messages being deleted? But hi, it is good to see all of you. Hold on, let me scroll down. First crew, Helpful Weirdo, Dina, Micah, Donut, and Esther. Congratulations for snatching one of the first 5. I hope you guys enjoy your part of the cool crew today. Happy Monday Eve as well. I have cat hair everywhere. I cuddled with Toot, but I made the mistake of trying to give her a head kiss while I was wearing my lip gloss already. Monday? It's Tuesday. I read Haley's message, and then I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, to be fair, my Mondays and my Tuesdays look so similar that sometimes I do genuinely mess them up. It's Monday somewhere. I don't think it is Monday anywhere anymore. At this point, all the time zones are, in fact, on Tuesday. Because you took yesterday off, so today's your first day of the week. Fair enough. Happy Wednesday. Let's not. Then it's already Wednesday. What do you mean? There we go. Finally got the cat hair. I almost didn't get first crew because my mouse moved off the button. Oh my goodness. Stressful. Stressful. I hope you had a nice day off though, Haley. Also, I just realized, what am I doing here? And how did no one notice this? Why am I on this scene? And why did no one say anything? My stream deck was still set to the co-working one. So I didn't realize it. I didn't even clock it. I just switched scenes and I was like, sure, this all belongs here. I'm just so used to seeing it. First crew is stressful. That is true. Yeah. True. A super sweet bot is on pause, so you couldn't even use it anyways. I was like, something's not right, but I couldn't figure out what it was. But there we go. Now it's all good. We are not doing co-working. At least I actually remembered to change the title and stuff. Could have ticked some tasks off. No. Unfortunately not. The bot is sleeping. The bot is already on break. I mean, I remembered to change the title. I had dinner. So I haven't entirely forgotten everything I needed to do. I just forgot to switch profile on my stream deck. It was still set to all my co-working buttons. And then there's like, the profile looks super similar. So if you look at your, if I look at my stream deck, I don't immediately notice that it's not the right one. Until I actually look at my own stream and I think, something is not right here. Exactly. They're off the clock. They're well, probably not entirely. They're probably working somewhere else. Also, I want to take my hair clip out. Do you know that feeling of not necessarily hair pain, but like my hair has just been in the same thing the entire day, and now I'm like, I just want to. My scalp needs a break from the hairstyle. The downside is I have a fan right here, so my hair is gonna go like, I don't know, move, but the volume. Yeah, that's always what happens when I take out the clip. And then give it like 10 minutes and it will be gone. And also, I wish I could just leave it like this, but then it's gonna eventually move slowly into my face. And it's probably gonna get stuck either. Yeah, there we go. See? There's already one. It's gonna get stuck in my glasses or on my lashes or in my lip gloss. Also, hi Gene, that's good to see you. And Jane, welcome in. It's good to see you as well. So yeah, we're gonna survive. To be fair, I've had 2 days of 32 degrees and I'm done with it. I love warm weather, but this is taking it too far. Okay, listen, universe, this is taking it too far. I need oxygen. I need to be able to sleep. I'm so tired. I haven't slept well last night. Like I just kept tossing and turning. I just couldn't act like I would fall asleep and then I would wake up not that much later again, being like, "Oh, I'm so warm." And it just didn't matter. And then I would completely get rid of my blanket. I was already sleeping under just like a sheet. And then I would get cold because I was sweating. And I don't know. I just don't like it. I would very much like for it to be I don't mind heat, but like a little less warm. And also give me temperatures that cool down in the night so that I can like open my doors and windows and it can actually cool down. Um have you lived well, that would be great if the outdoor temperature actually drops. You could do that. But the coldest it went was like 20 in the past 2 nights. So, if your house is like 26 and outdoors is 20 and there's not really any wind, nothing really happens. The air's just still in your house. It just doesn't move. So yeah, everything's open whenever the temperature drops below whatever we have in the house, but it doesn't do anything, which is why I'm so sad. And I can't open my window right now just yet because it's still warm outside, even though I'm desperate for fresh air. So yeah, I'm not very happy. Even though I'm a person who that's the thing. I love heat. I love the summer. And I love all of this, but not this part. This part is too much. um Busy time at work and the heat does not help. I can only imagine. It sounds really rough to like I mean, I'm in sort of a quieter time at work. Not really quieter as in there's still a lot to do, but as in I don't have many deadlines or like big travels coming up, so I have a bit more freedom, which I'm very happy about. Exactly. Yes, that is the correct feeling. Oh my God, Jane, you just perfectly described what I've been trying to describe how the air feels. When you just open an oven, right after it's done baking, the air just feels like so dead and warm. It's like there's no oxygen in it. That's how all the air feels right now in my entire house. Feels like someone just opened an oven in my house. I can't believe that makes sense, but that does make sense to me. I don't know what it is, but that makes perfect sense. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I spend my dinner break reading my book. I am now 23% into the last book of Poppy War. And this is The Burning God. This is book 3 out of the trilogy. And this book has a lot of pages. I think, let me check. I actually haven't checked how many pages exactly this copy has. It says 620. And I'm currently at 143. But I only started reading Saturday evening. So honestly, I'm making good progress. But I'm very excited to finish this one. One, because I want to know how it ends. At this point, I'm like, I have no idea. This is one of those book series I truly just have no idea where it's going. I cannot tell you. The main character is very, very, very morally gray, which means that she takes very weird decisions sometimes, which keeps her very interesting as a main character because she doesn't necessarily carve out a path that is very straightforward and then she follows it. She takes interesting steps. Next to that, I feel like there's some plot twist coming, but I don't know what it is yet. Like, I really don't, I cannot predict it. Oh, I love it. I felt like the second book was a little bit slow. As in there was a lot of warfare. But also in the defense of the book, I took a 2-week reading break because I was going to go to a festival and that was like my days off. Basically, I didn't read. Ironically enough, during my days off, I didn't read or barely read because I was just busy with other things. And I took like a break in the middle of heavy warfare, which that's already a general dry part of a book. It was also the middle of the trilogy, which tends to be a little bit of a dip point in books as well. So it was a little bit my own fault that I struggled with the second book because I think if I had just continued reading, I wouldn't have struggled as much. But like the first book I read in 1.5 weeks. The second book took me almost a month. And I think if I continue like this, I'll probably read this in 2 weeks as well. Kane, thank you so much for the biddies. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Did you get all your description changed, Ro? I realized I didn't close the ticket yet. Oh, yes. Oh my God. I was like, for a second, I was like, wait, what are we talking about? Yes, I did. Thank you so much again for telling me, by the way. It was a bit of it took me 30 minutes to change all of them, so it wasn't that much work, but it's good that I changed it. So thank you for making the ticket. Haven't read the last one yet. So far, it's really good. I'm actually flying through it. But I spent some time reading during dinner and also during lunch today, so I made good progress. I think I got 50 pages in today, so that is nice. Because I'm very, very, very excited to finish it. Also because I really want to read new books. I'm not necessarily excited for the series to be over because I do think at the end of the book I'm gonna be like, oh, this is so sad. I finished Poppy War trilogy. It's done. Because I also think these are books that I don't think I'll reread. I don't know how else to explain that. I was talking to Estelle about this on Saturday. It's a beautiful story, but I don't feel like it's a book that you would reread. Or at least not in a long time, I think. So, I don't know. When it's done, it's going to be done. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to come back to this for a good while. So I'm going to probably be sad about it, but also I just have so many good books lined up that I'm like, I want to continue reading all my books. I'm impatient to read all of them, which is a good feeling to have because it's been a while since I've been this properly excited about reading all my books. And I just have a big backlog of books that I want to read. You read a bit every day. Yes. What's your secret? Having a partner that tells me to go to sleep. And also not being able to sleep if Scott is not sleeping. So we both go to bed together at the same time, which means that I can never read into the late hours of the night because that just doesn't work. Because then I go to bed. Also working 55 hours a week, which means that you don't really have any time to read other than a little bit every single day over lunch and dinner. Having horrendous ADHD, meaning that you have the attention span of a brick unless your book is super good and super exciting, and then it's hard to put down. But even then, you probably will be uncomfortable in how you're sitting, how your nose is feeling, the sounds that the outside is making within 10 minutes of reading. So the only way I can read is in short batches. The whole concept of sitting down and reading an entire book in one go is it rarely happens that I do that. I think the last time I spent a really long time reading, let's say a half a day or a whole day, was when I was on the final book of Throne of Glass and also the second half. So I basically almost finished the series. So yeah, I guess that. Sometimes fall asleep when reading. Oh, that's another thing. I don't read in my bed. Ever. Now after 2 months, 30% into the book. Okay, so that's the thing. I do read pretty fast. I would say I read a page per minute, kind of depending on the book. For, I would say, Poppy War, I've been more so 1.5 minute per page. I also have read, a good example, I think, is when I did the reading stream. That's something that does help. I have not read the Silo trilogy. I might read it, but I want to watch the TV show more, I think. But when I was doing the reading stream in the library in Birmingham and I read Secrets of Secrets, we did a 4-hour reading stream, which basically meant I effectively had 4 times 50 minutes to read. And I read 250 pages. So I can read really fast, specifically on certain books from certain writers or certain genres. I read really fast. So for example, I just had dinner. I had I think I had a 40-minute dinner break. After making the dinner, I sat down on my desk. I had 40 minutes. And I think I read 35 pages. A reading stream? I mean, this is months ago. The reading stream was in February or something. March. End of March was when I went to Birmingham, I think. So this is a long time ago. But we are in fact going to do a reading stream sometime soon again. AKA next week, Sunday the 16th. We're doing a reading stream again. Both, Charlotte, depending on the book. I originally only read in Dutch, switched to English about a year ago. Don't know why I never read in English before. I just thought that my English wasn't proficient, which is ridiculous if I think about it. And now I've for the past year, I've exclusively read in... That's not entirely true. When did I read Sunrise on the Reaping? Because I ended up reading Sunrise on the Reaping in Dutch because I have like a special edition of the Hunger Games that they only have in Dutch. This edition is not available in any other language. So I had to buy it in Dutch because that's like the whole collection that I have. You all did one in your window seat. Yes, but that is a long time ago, Mike. I think that's like, at this point, easily 8 months ago, maybe even more. Because it was wintertime. I made boerenkool. It was when the sun was going down around 6 p.m. because I vividly remember in the last Pomo, it went from being light outside to fully dark within an hour. So it must have been like November or something. I know, Charlotte. Same. English books for me that are in English originally and only Dutch for originally Dutch books. I do retranslated books. I also recently bought a thriller, one that Lynn advised, and that bookshop just had it in Dutch. So I ended up buying it in Dutch. And for me, I guess it depends. I think fantasy, I'm starting to slowly notice I do like to read in English. I feel like as soon as there is... The risk with translating fantasy is that they start translating, like, this is what they did in Throne of Glass. And it actually, in, like, you know, hindsight, it pisses me off. We were talking about this. Also, hi, Costite, welcome in. Triz actually mentioned this. Triz was like, yeah, so then they go to Riftold. And I was like, what the fuck is Riftold? And Trish was like, the capital in Throne of Glass. You've read the series, right? And I'm like, what do you mean? And I looked it up. And Google was like, no. In the Dutch books, it's also just called Riftold. And I was like, I've never heard this name in my life. Then I actually found my copy of the book that I read in Dutch. And because they were on my e-reader, but I lent them through Kobo Books, so I couldn't open them anymore. But the first book, I actually had a physical copy. It's fucking translated. It is they translate the names of the places. And that's the part that I don't enjoy. Whereas that's not a big of a problem if you're reading books that are not fantasy. If you're reading books that are actually just like about real life, the name of a place is going to be the same. And even if they translate it, I'll still know the English name as well. Like, let's say they're talking about Paris. I will know that in Dutch it's Parijs. I'll still know both of the names. So I've come to the conclusion that I don't mind reading translated books as much if they're about just real life. Like, basically, it's still fiction, but it could be real life, if that makes any sense. What will you do for the new ACOTAR books? Probably read them. Haven't made a specific planning. I will probably get them. I might take that as my call to figure out which I can show you my ACOTAR books and you guys are gonna hate it. I actually have ACOTAR. Oh, I have them in Dutch, so probably Dutch. But that's the thing that I need to decide. Because I currently have the first 5 books in Dutch. If I buy 2 more in Dutch, I'm committed, you know? At this point, I've read all 5 in Dutch, so why not? However, with Throne of Glass, I ended up buying the box set. And I ended up, in fact, buying the English one. But for the first 3 books, this is the design. Then, for some fucked up reason, they decided to no longer publish this version for the next 2 books. This is now the cover that you can get for every book. So my ACOTAR books are already not the same series. And it pisses me off. I hate it so much when they do this with books. I'm like, I wouldn't even have minded buying another 2 of this design. Like, I think it's fine. I actually kind of like the black cover on it with the colored letters. because then this one is blue, and I think it looks kind of cool. But I hate when they change designs in the middle of a series. Because this is literally like, it doesn't exist. There is no book 4 and 5 in this design. It's just not available. So yeah, but I think I'm afraid I might have to commit to buying the next Akatar books in Dutch, because I don't know if I want to buy 5 entire new books. Yeah, so that could be an option. I could decide to give these away or something. The thing is, I'm also not gonna buy the 3 Dutch ones in this design and then buy the new one. Like, if I'm gonna replace them, then I might as well just go for English, but I don't know. I have an even more, hold on. Now that we're talking about this, I have an even more infuriating example of this. This is a design change, but at least the books are the same size. So if I put them on my shelf, it's fine. I'm gonna put these back and grab one that is even worse. Almost done. I literally have to move my chair to find the other 2. Okay, I got them. So, you guys are gonna be so pissed off by this. Anyone who knows this series, I love you. I had a really good talk with Estelle over the weekend about this book series, and it's so fun because we both read it. And it's rare that I meet people who've actually read this book series. It's called House of Night. This is book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So this is a triple trilogy series. So in total, there's 9 books. After reading these 9, or these 6, sorry, I wanted to continue reading. You want to hear something really fucked up? So I started reading this when I was younger. So at that time, I was not ready to read in English. I was like a kid. I only read in Dutch. Got through these books. Wanted to continue reading. You know what they did? They stopped translating them. Apparently, these books were not popular enough in the Netherlands. So yeah, they just stopped translating them. So then I wanted to buy the next few books. And the only way I could get them is in English. Which, like, I mean, at least the design is similar, right? Like, it works. Apart from the fact that they are not the same size. You know how horrible it looks if you put them on a shelf? And it's like, I want to have this series complete. The problem is, I still don't have the last book of this series. I have read it on my e-reader, but I don't actually own it because I can't even buy it here. They don't even sell the English version of this book in the Netherlands. It's like so unread in the Netherlands that not only did they stop translating after book 6, you cannot even buy book 9. So I'm going to have to find it at one point, probably because also this series is quite old at this point. So I haven't been able to find it secondhand in the Netherlands either. So yeah, I'm just pissed because now not only do I have an incomplete series of one that I actually would like to have, it's also in 2 different languages and in 2 different sizes. But I love this series so much. Like, this series has such a special place in my heart because as a teenager, I was thoroughly obsessed with it. Like, actually thoroughly obsessed with it. So I'm not going to get rid of it. This is like one of my OG book. Like when I talk about when I was a kid, I read book series. This is what I mean. I would voluntarily read this at 13. And then when I grew up, I was confused as to why I liked fantasy and long series. I think my answer was in my past. So basically, you're the only person in the Netherlands. Oh, no. I'm definitely not the only person in the Netherlands who's read the entire series because Estelle lives here and Estelle has also read the entire series. I know of one other person at least. But yeah, it just makes me sad. Also, I'm going to put this back because it's quite heavy, actually. And so the reason it took me longer is I put these two books, I actually put them behind my doors. They're like not even on this. I think I'm going to keep them though, because right now I have these books in my bookcase like this. I don't have them on the side. And I feel like if you put them like this, you don't see it as much. Like the size difference isn't as bad, I think. I hope. Let me put my chair back. There we go. But yeah. White and Royal Blue is a bit bigger than the English version. I have noticed they tend to do that with Dutch translated versions. Yeah. I never understand this. Like, I don't know, just in general, like the book designs, I have many questions. If you could choose one book you could read again for the first time, what would it be? That is such a good question. Also, the ads are running, so I'm going to start up my game in the meantime. Ooh, Project Hail Mary is a good shout. I love that book. But honestly, I don't know if I would, like, I would want to experience the story for the first time, but considering that I saw the movie before reading the book, I don't think... Hello? Yes, I'm sure I want to go offline. I still haven't updated my game. Let me think. Let me look at my bookcase. You know what? Okay, so I'm just looking at my bookcase and there's a book that I really enjoyed, which isn't like a super special book or anything, but it's just one of those books like you're never going to be able to read it again because you already know the plot twist. I feel like for certain books, as soon as you know the plot twist, there's no rereading it. And I think there's one book that specifically, like, normally I'm pretty good at seeing plot twists coming, especially for thrillers and stuff, because I've just read too many and I love pattern recognition. So at this point, I can read a book and like halfway through, I have a idea of like how it's going to end. I literally had this with Throne of Glass. In like chapter 2 or 3 of Throne of Glass, I messaged one of my friends and I was like, I think this person is actually this person. And that turned out to be the whole freaking clue of the book, of like the entire series, which I didn't mind. Like, I don't mind then continuing to read, which some people don't like that. They'll like literally put the book away. But there's one book called The Girl on the Train. They also made it into a movie with Emily Blunt. That movie or that story, that book it had a plot twist. I swear to God, I didn't see it coming from a mile away. So, but therefore it was so good. I forget the plot of any book quickly enough that reading it for the first time would not be a meaningful superpower for me. Interesting. I can never forget plots of books. Like or at least not the important parts. I'll like forget the details, but I won't forget the important plot points. So then, like if I reread it, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's how the story goes. Beartown by Frederick Beckman. I love that book so freaking much. I don't think I've heard of it. Um, I will now build one the next time we play. Nice, let's go. You're now the Froglight Farm expert. For me, it would be Akatar, and then I have to choose the first book. But would love the entire series. Yeah, I have to say, I think I don't know, maybe Kingdom of Ash. Um, that book wrecked me. um, your artistic brain likes to know likes when I know what's gonna happen. So I actually love rereading my fave books. That is so fair. Yes, I saw it, Molly. I saw it. What kind of book is it? Because I said this yesterday on stream as well. We were talking about books as well. We talk a lot about books, and I like that. I appreciate it. I think it was yesterday, right? During co-working stream. Where I have a relatively strong preference when it comes to genres. And I have come to realize that one of the reasons that I still love reading and that I'm like, after 2 years of actively reading, I don't feel a reading burnout is because I'm not pushing myself to read genres that I don't enjoy because other people say that the books are good. So at this point, instead of asking what a book is about, I'm just asking what genre it is. Because I love like genres that I'll immediately be more enticed to read is sci-fi, fantasy, historical romance, or historical fantasy. Very lightweight almost like absurd contemporary novels. So I feel like both Yellowface and Vera Wong that I read this year that I thoroughly enjoyed are like quite absurd contemporary novel. If it's like a slice of life contemporary novel, it's really not my cup of tea. I've just come to realize I find them extremely boring. Even if it's like beautifully written, I just cannot get like my brain just doesn't lock in on it for some reason. I love a good thriller. I love a good mystery. So like if it's like sci-fi mystery stuff like that, I'll definitely be intrigued. You follow a 13-year pharmaceutical student during Syrian war, contemporary romance war. Yeah, that does not sound like something I would enjoy. I'm so sorry. It sounds like it could be a beautiful story, but it also sounds like one of those stories that is beautiful but not interesting for me. And again, maybe I would be surprised if I read it, but I'm just really hesitant to pick up books like that because even if it's like a story that's like a slice of life of a situation that you are not in yourself, I don't know. There's something about it that just doesn't entice me at all. At all. I don't know what it is. So yeah, like that specific description, if I had seen that in a bookstore, I would have picked it up, read it, and put it back. Is it sci-fi? Okay, don't care. I don't know. I feel like that is also super fair though. I think a lot of people when it comes to like books, this is something I've never understood this. But if you think about it, it's actually I think a good analogy. If someone says they don't like a certain type of food, you also don't continuously offer it to them. You'll just be like, oh, okay, apparently you don't like, I don't know, whatever. Well, I guess some people do. Some people will be like, yeah, but have you tried it in this way? Have you ever had it cooked this way? No, but I swear this is different. And I'm like, I never understood that with anything. Also with clothes. They're like, yeah, but I know that you say that you don't like skirts, but have you tried this type of skirt? Like, no, if someone says they don't like it, that's called taste. Like everyone has their own taste and that's so fine. That's what I love. Like we can still talk to each other about like our taste and the things that make us enthusiastic and make us like enticed. But that sort of that edge where people start to try to convince you that you have to like something too. I don't know. I think it was kind of like an eye opener for me that I realized that I don't have to then do that. Because that for me, like for a big part, ruined reading for years. Is I try to read what other people told me I should be liking, if that makes any sense. Oh my God, I love Outlander. Outlander is like, I've read the first 3 books and I've watched the show until season 5. Then I had to take a break. If you've seen the show, the season 5 ending, I'm not going to spoil it explicitly, but if you've seen it, you'll know. It's where Claire goes into her dream world of the 70s. That's not a spoiler, but if you know, I had to take a break after that. I just couldn't keep on watching. It was so cozy slice of life Japanese fiction. Yeah, I read exactly one book in that genre that I liked, which was the Traveling Cat Chronicles. And then I was like, oh my God, I love this genre. And then I tried 2 more books and they were so utterly boring to me. Like, again, to me, this is like personal tasting. My brain not locking in on that. I tried also short stories. I've concluded short stories are not my cup of tea. Especially if they're standalones. Like, if it's short stories that have an overarching theme, where like through the short stories you basically build a bigger plot, then I'm interested. Short stories on its own, I can't do it. Like, if I just get into a character and then the story is done, I'm like, that felt like a waste of time. I did make Tom read Project Hail Mary, and when he started, I was like, you can DNF if you don't like it. Do you like it? It's okay if you don't. Did he like it? It was intense. I just finished watching Outlander a couple of weeks ago and I cried. Yeah, so that's the thing. I have seen major spoilers from the last episode. I basically saw the last episode in multiple clips spread over social media. Like specifically the last couple of scenes, which I get that people put it on social media because it's such a full circle. I won't say it, by the way, for anyone who's missed any spoilers. I'm not going to spoil it here. I have seen it. I think I want to. So I'm actually going to go to Outlander in concert with my sister and Scott and my brother-in-law somewhere next year. I think February 2027, something like that. Quite far in the future. And I've been thinking about rewatching everything before that time and then like fully watching the whole thing, because now that I've stopped in season 5, I feel like going back to season 6, there's definitely going to be things that I just don't remember because it's been a long time. But I'm like level obsessed to Outlander that I have 2 books that are like the full behind the scenes of how the first 2 seasons were made. I have watched so many interviews. It's actually a little ridiculous. I have book 1 to 5 on my shelf. And like I said, I've read 1 to 3, but I think if I'm gonna read it, I'll probably start at the beginning and then just do the whole thing. But those books are hefty. It's a lot of pages if you want to read all 9. So, you'll like it if you like the Grimm TV show. I feel so bad for not liking it, but I did not like Grimm at all. I tried it 3 times. First time I made it to episode 2. Second time I made it to episode 3. And third time I couldn't even watch through episode 1. It is, I don't know what it is. But the thing is, I do like Veronica Roth. I loved her Divergent series as a kid. Well, yeah. I loved her Divergent series. The first 2 books. I'm still pissed about what she did at the end. I am so angry about how she ended Divergent. Yeah, I don't know. She's gonna write a new Divergent book. Have you heard? She's gonna rewrite Divergent from the idea that what would have happened if Triss had picked a different faction. And I don't want it. I'm sorry. She fucked up in the last book, okay? We're done. That book's closed, literally. Oh, for anyone, if you don't know, just don't ever read Divergent. Because, like, listen, it's a really good book series until the last, like, couple of chapters. I don't know why she did what she did. It's still to this day infuriates me. If there's ever a comparison I can make, it's like season 8 of Game of Thrones. Just, yeah. Oh, but the movies are even worse, and also they don't stay close to the books at all, apart from the first movie. The first movie is actually good, and then they also threw that. But the main character does something that just doesn't make any sense. And it just pisses me. All these years later, it's been 15 years since I read them. Still angry about it. Still angry. Did they ever finish the movie series? No. And I don't think they're ever gonna. Which I think is maybe for the best. Oh, you're missing one. They never did the last one. That was because the second one was really bad. And it didn't do well, so then they never made the last one. Which again, maybe is for the best, because the ending of the book does not need to be put on screen. She's literally writing fan fiction of her own books. You're so right. I never thought about it that way, but she is. Okay, we're gonna start, by the way, today. This is not the right household. We're gonna start with I keep forgetting where they live. They live here. We're gonna have to give Gil a makeover, because I actually don't know if he's still a teenager. Can I see that here? Oh, he's a young adult now. Okay, so at least he also aged up. But we're gonna meet him today. I feel like we actually should give him a little bit of a makeover. This is her father. This is Dr. Joseph. She's gonna figure out today that he's her father, but that's also when she's gonna figure out that Gil is actually her twin brother. I feel like obviously Phoenix has gone through quite a transition, literally. So she looks very different, but at the same time, their face, like their eyes and their nose and their mouth are so similar. It's actually kind of cool. But yeah, let's actually give him, I mean, honestly, his day-to-day outfit. Literally, yeah. I said it. I was like, she's gone through quite a transition. Then I was like, well, I didn't mean it that literally, but she kind of literally did. But like their facial structure is still so similar. Which is, I mean, it makes sense. I didn't change that when I basically gave Phoenix her whole makeover. I didn't change anything about her facial structure. So that makes a lot of sense. You used all 3 pronouns in like 2 sentences. I know. I worked really hard. My brain was working overtime. But honestly, his outfit is actually pretty good. I feel like this like the grilled cheese, I'm kind of living for this. Oh, damn. Okay. Not mad about that either. Guys, did The Sims actually pick normal outfits? Did I open cast for nothing? Another one that's like perfectly normal. I mean, I wouldn't go to a party in this outfit, but it's not a bad outfit. Like, objectively, not an ugly... I'm confused. Also, thank you for the self-care check. Take a little sip. This is wizardry. It keeps being normal. I don't think I gave him a makeover as a teenager. No, he actually kind of looked ridiculous as a teenager, because I once took screenshots of him. Did I give him a... I'm starting to severely doubt myself. Maybe I did, because these also feel like outfits that I could have picked. But I don't remember giving him a makeover, because I don't think I've ever returned to this household at any point. I'm very confused. But I'm not necessarily complaining. I do wonder if... I mean, I like this haircut, but I don't know if it's the right haircut for him. I want to see if we have another haircut. I want to just experiment a little bit, see if there's a haircut that works better. If the answer is no, we'll just go back to this one. Mm, that's not the right hair texture. I feel like the other hair was like really in his face. And the reason I didn't like that is because both him and Phoenix have quite like slanted eyes. And it was covering his brows. And in a way, it was making like his entire face kind of fall. So I think having hair that is slightly more out of his face is just going to lift his face a little bit to just, I don't know, less like cover it less or hide it less. Like something like this I do actually like. Let's see if we have other options. Oh, sure, that just completely changed his hair color. Why? Well, that's the one with the headband. If the headband wasn't there, honestly, that would be really nice. Oh, I've had that so often, Micah, where my Sims will literally finish their term paper before going to school. It's very convenient. Okay, that's better hair color wise. Something like this. Like, I do like the curls. I just don't want it to be so much in his face. I actually like this one. This one makes him a lot younger. Does that make any sense? I don't know if you guys are seeing it too, but having his hair out of his face, actually, the other one was really wearing him down. Now he actually looks like a young adult instead of like an adult. Which is a small difference, but we saw this with Dayton, the neighbor that we woohooed to death. It can make a really big difference if your Sim's hair is like a good cut for their face. Obviously, that is the same in real life, but I feel like The Sims sometimes just truly proves hair theory for us. I might keep this. I think it's actually really cute. Oh my god. I love how much of it. Look at the difference. It changes his entire face. Okay, now we have it on all the outfits. Yeah, I think honestly, we're good. Let's go. I expected to need to do a pretty big makeover, but apparently it wasn't that bad. Loving the cast backdrop. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's such a small and like simple thing, but having a different cast backdrop, I don't know, it makes me enjoy cast so much more. The default one is so ugly. Like truly just so ugly. Sorry for the yawn. Oh, okay, let's load into our household. And then we're gonna have to probably just fake it. We're just gonna have to pretend like Phoenix got a call from her father, which she doesn't know is her father, but he's panicking. She basically taught him how to launder money. That's the backstory. He called her. She works as a criminal in the underground of the city, and he got her contact through someone. We don't know how exactly. And he called us. This actually happened in game. I'm not making this up. He called us to ask us for help with laundering money. So that's how they got involved. They met up for coffee in our last stream. And basically what she did is she told him how to launder money. And I think the plot is going to be that she's going to get called over to his apartment because he's panicking. Like he fucked something up. I don't know what he's going to fuck up yet, but he fucks something up. And then he's going to call her and he's going to be like, please, I know that, part of our arrangement is that we keep things anonymous, but please, I'm like in big trouble. Can you please come help me? And then she decides to go help him. And then in the apartment, she's going to find like a photo of him and Plum Bobby, or she's going to find something. She's going to find some evidence. We'll probably have to storytell our way out of that one as well. But something is going to tell her. And then she goes like, men, exactly. Then she's gonna basically, I guess, confront him with the fact that like he's her father. And then she's also going to find out she has a twin brother. And then they're going to meet. Because technically, if we look at her like relationship panel, the relationship panel keeps forcing that they do already know each other. Like it keeps saying over here that she knows Gil. The thing is, we don't actually know him. We've never met him. But because we're family, no matter how many times I delete him, he keeps showing up again. It's kind of like Find the Shep quest in Palia. It keeps forcing itself back into the game. Sees a picture of her dad and the dude that fucked up. Wait, what? Wait. Who died? Oh my god. Who died? Clappy died. Our sister died. No, our aunt. Wait, that's not our sister. That's our aunt. Wait, what is Clappy to them? Their aunt, I think. I'm pretty sure that's their aunt. Yeah, Clippy and Clappy. Oh god. Oh my god. That means that Barry... That's what it says. Barry got adopted into another household because Clappy actually adopted Barry and then died, and now Barry is getting adopted again. That's actually kind of sad. I feel for poor Barry. She sees a picture of the parent she lives with secret dad. Yes, that's exactly what I want to do, Charlotte. The thing is, that picture doesn't exist, so we're gonna have to storytell our way out of this. But yeah, it's kind of sad. Maybe... Do we... I don't think we know Barry. Because listen, Phoenix is gonna have twins, right? So that's gonna be... That's a story on its own. But what if Amy adopts Barry? Because I feel really bad for Barry now. Like, this kid literally gets adopted as a baby and then gets adopted as a toddler again. And I feel like Amy, being very responsible, would 100% do that. And that would also be a good reason for Amy to maybe move out earlier of this apartment so Phoenix can live here by herself for a little while. Because Phoenix has to live here until she's an adult. So that's gonna take a little bit still. I think. Right? Yeah, that's 8 days at least. But how are we gonna find Barry? To adopt Barry. And I feel like maybe initially Barry is going to live with them in this house. It's going to be somewhat chaotic. And then Amy is going to be like, I'm going to have to find another house. Also, hi, Vanessa. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. But how does one find Barry? Because Barry got adopted, but we can't see by who. Can we see that here? Oh, yeah. By the Prescott household. Okay. So we have to find where the Prescott household lives. You know what? I'm just going to do something impulsive. We're quickly going to go back into Managed Worlds. And we're going to take we're going to move that kid in. It's a really nice needs TLC apartment. I mean, they've put in a lot of work. It wasn't always this nice, but they've been living here for a while. The unfortunate thing is that they still deal with rodents and everything breaking and insects and stuff, but at least it looks good. They tried. They tried to make it their home. So I think we're going to have to go here. Yeah. So I really wish that I had the search mod from Twisted Mexi that I could search my households, because this is painful. What kid? Okay, so our uncle Clappy. Is it high school years townies? Okay, hold on. I want Copperdale residents, played and unplayed. Nope, they don't live in Copperdale anymore, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they moved away. I mean, this save is like 7 years old, so it's not surprising that families don't live in the right place anymore. Oh, found it. Yeah, there's Barry. Okay, found you. They have a lot of money. My goodness. Oh, they live in San Myshuno. Okay. Okay, but backstory, Clappy, which is Amy and Phoenix's uncle, which is Plum Bobby's brother, actually passed away just now. And Clappy had actually adopted a child, but this child was adopted as a baby and now as a toddler is immediately being adopted again. And I just feel bad for the kid. And considering that Amy is in this entire playthrough, one of the characters that is incredibly like morally correct, she would be the one who would come out and be like, no, you know what? I'm going to adopt this child. I don't want this child to go to like a random family. This kid is now part of our family. So Barry, we have a little bit of a struggle with the name, but alas, Barry is now going to live with Amy. And then Amy, initially that means that Barry's going to live with us in the apartment, but that is going to be the reason that Amy is going to move out of the apartment, I think. And like find her own little apartment. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer Sims between households. And they're going to have to go my households in... Where send my shoe no? There, send my shoe no. And then we need... I love how this is somehow the household that derived from my Pack Legacy townies. Okay, hold on. This is us. And then we're going to move... Oh my god. Jacoby is actually really cute. Okay, we're going to move Barry. This family has nothing to do with Barry, so we can't really take any money, unfortunately. Because we're going to pretend that the child never actually went to that other household. Like, we immediately adopted him. That does mean that in our apartment, we're going to have to do some work. Maybe... Okay, this is, like, obviously a really big household that I would kick out. Maybe I can kick out this person. I can move in this family into this apartment because that would make a lot more sense. I think I might quickly do that. Hold on. This is going to be a little weird, but we're going to evict this household. We are going to move this household. Hello? Yeah, okay, that is now empty. We're going to move out this household into this apartment. This lot, oh my god, they don't have any furniture. I hate that all of my apartments at this point are unfurnished. But that's fine. They are moving from an unfurnished apartment to an unfurnished apartment. And now this apartment is actually free. So I'm thinking, what if Amy ends up moving here? Like, she's not going to move super far away. They're just going to be neighbors. Because I feel like it's not realistic for Amy to immediately buy a house. Okay, I'm going to get slightly sidetracked here, but I'm going to furnish that apartment. Oopsie. But to be fair, I'm not going to furnish it like super fancily. We're going to keep it relatively simple and straightforward. But I think it's just going to be nice if that's ready for us. Yeah, it's going to be like mini building stream. Super mini. Because this is also luckily not a super big apartment, which is exactly why I figured it would be nice to move in here. Like we have I think that's supposed to be a bathroom, but maybe we can get rid of that because I think this apartment is a little too small to have 2 bathrooms. So that can be a bedroom. That can be a bedroom. That can be a bathroom. And then we have a little small living space. I think that's actually kind of perfect for the fact that it's going to be Amy and a child. Let's actually start with getting some lights so that we can properly see stuff. Because otherwise, I don't know how I'm going to furnish this place. I always love to use this light in the living space. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use it in the bedrooms. And then we're going to, in the living space, we're going to work with different lights, I think. So that means that for now, I'm just going to grab this. And then in the bathroom, we can use that. Probably in the hallway, having a light like that is also kind of nice. Let's add the floors back in. So this is where I think I had the kitchen. I'm pretty sure. So let's start with getting some tile. Does this come? Yeah, this does come in like funky colors. I like that actually, because then I think there is a matching. Is there not? I would swear there would be a matching tile for the wall. There is. Okay, that obviously looks a little intense. We can change the windows now. We couldn't do that before. Can you imagine that that was not possible? You couldn't change windows on apartments. I mean, it does look a little bit weird to change them out, but maybe I don't mind it enough to not change them out, you know? I don't mind having windows, but maybe we can actually go like this. So that we still have that window there, but that's just a smaller window. I think that just looks a little bit better. And then if we, can we change the color of this one? Because obviously that's a very different color. Maybe we can go for a window that matches a little bit better. See, but that's still huge. Really cool, CC. Thank you. I don't often use it these days because when I'm doing builds for YouTube and stuff, I feel like I never build with CC. Also, hi Chris. It's good to see you. Because I don't want to make my builds unusable. Okay, I don't like that at all. But it is nice to every once in a while come back to it and build with some CC. Okay, maybe something like this. Like, none of the wood tones are going to match, I'm afraid. So we might as well go for something like this. Told me I could redeem the coconut roll now. So, question. When are you going to redeem the coconut roll? Because honestly, I think that's a great idea. I like the idea of maybe adding something like this. Yeah, that's good. And then we need this one. Hold on. I also realized that it would probably look better if I move this one over here. And if we just go like this. And then I want to do one of these. Is that the right? No, that's I need this one, I think. I feel like that looks kind of cool. You have to plant a palm tree first. Lol. I have that at 50k too. That is so funny, actually. I love that the game is like, have you, or the game, Twitch chat is like, have you considered? Have you thought? Actually, maybe. Okay, I'm very indecisive, but I think I don't like the walls. The pattern was a little too aggressive, I think. I think I like the floor tiles though. I will keep those, but I think the also putting it on the wall was a little overwhelming. Let's see, which one of these? Yeah, that is very pretty. And then the good thing is that also comes with the open drawer and with the other open drawer. And I just feel like that perfectly matches. And then there's one, I think, that has the other. I never know which one that is. Is it this one? No. What series is this? This is Too Hot to Handle. Ooh, you're getting so much closer. 660k, 606k is a lot. Is it this one? Yeah. I need, oh. How am I ever gonna get the corner one? Oh, like that. Okay. That was a little not so great. Wait. I think I want to put the sink in there. Yeah, that's very pretty. I like it. Hi, she watches Twitch. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Wait, if I'm gonna search for too hot to handle again. Because where will you put the fridge? Good question. I hadn't thought about that. I will probably figure that out in a second. We're gonna do this one here. That one. Oh god, I fucked that up. Okay. That's okay. Maybe I just do... No, I hate that. This is why we don't put windows in kitchens. Because it never really works out with the height. Maybe we just don't do a window at all. Maybe that's just for the better. Oh my god, this is... Placing this is, somewhat annoying. Oh, that's horrendous. Why is it... Hold on. See, now that would be perfect for the fridge. Which is... Also, why do we have two different ones? Oh. And then I love... Okay, so that is perfect for the fridge, apart from the fact that it's not. Who came up with that? Oh, I love that fridge. No, I love the little drawings on it. But I guess then we're just gonna... That's infuriating. Okay, hold on. Because I don't like it if it's over there. So we're gonna move it. There we go. I did like the cupboard there, actually. I thought that was kind of good. Like, for some reason, that was making sense, but the fridge was definitely not. Okay, let's get this good stove. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Maybe we can do a yellow stove. Kind of to complement the tiles. And then... do we do... Oh, that's an oven that goes, like, in a counter. Would look cool as well, to be honest. Because then we can do another one of these counters. Maybe I want to do that. Hold on. We can go with something like this. And then... Okay, that doesn't work with this one, apparently. Okay, so it doesn't work with this particular... I know that I have different ones. Like, you can put this in here, but then it also... I guess it's this design that doesn't work with that, but maybe they don't have an oven. I will give them a microwave. Because I think that's nice. And then I wanted to get a stove hood to add above the stove. Let's see. This one. I always like this one. Okay. I feel like that kitchen is very simple, but it works. Let's put a bin because we didn't have that just yet. And just some minor decorations because I don't want to clutter this apartment too much because I don't feel like that would make a lot of sense. But we can have like something so it looks a little bit more lived in. They just also need to have a spot to actually prepare the food. I just realized this. No, no. Oh, come on. Let me place it there. Yeah, that's perfect. Because then they can technically cut stuff here. Needs a bit more counter space. Yeah, this is an infuriatingly small amount of counter space for sure. I agree. I absolutely agree. I would be super frustrated with it as well. Okay, we definitely need a better wallpaper in the living room. The thing is, Amy is a painter, right? So she's pretty creative. So I could see her painting like a mural or something, like something special. I definitely, for the kids' room, I want to go for like something like this. Like Amy could have painted that. That's really cute. I like that one a lot. And then for herself, she probably painted or also did something cool like art or something. Oh, that's the nursery painting that's broken. Ooh, this wallpaper is screaming Amy. I can't even explain why, but that is giving Amy to the T. Okay, let's also hang up some curtains in this apartment. Oop. That one is taller than the other one. That is actually infuriating. Oh, wait. Short, medium. That's fine. Short. I need the short one. There we go. Do you want to check mod chat? Yes. Oh. Good luck. Good luck. Thanks for letting me know. I hope all is well. I hope everything will be fine. Okay. We have all of that. I think honestly, this little corner here would be perfect for a little dining table setup. This is a small house, so we're going to have to be a little bit more efficient about this. We don't have a lot of space. But something like this, I think, would be really cute. Okay, I hate that chair, actually. I always like how it looks in this, like, in here. And then when I actually place it, I think it's kind of ugly. I do like this chair, though. Because it has, like, the little flowers on it. And then I feel like that could be hand-painted as well. We can do 3 different colors. I actually really like that. And then let's add little plant and maybe a little plant on the table. Maybe a little rug. You know what? I'm going to do a rug in the living room area, which is going to be right here. So it's not even that far away. So maybe 1 rug is enough. I don't like that. It's too busy. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. Let's get a sofa. This is a little bit I feel like maybe it's better if I put it all the way to the side here. Otherwise, it gets a little full. And then we can move this out a little bit. And then let's get a coffee table. Something like this. And then we can get a TV and a TV cabinet. Yeah, that's a good combo. And then we can get a TV, like I said. What kind of TV do I want to get? It's not expensive. It's really expensive. Oh, it's actually not too bad. How expensive is this house now? Okay, 21,000. I think that's like getting okay. She can take like 35,000. I think when she moves out, because Phoenix is also still making her own money, so I think that should be good. Let's get a light here as well. Get something simple. The thing is, I wouldn't mind if this house initially looks a little bit simple, just because she's only just moving in, right? Like we can have a little bit of clutter here and there, like having slippers next to the sofa. The thing is, we're definitely going to need stuff for the kid. But I guess we're just going to have to squish it like as much as possible into the kids' room. Okay, let's get rid of this. And then we're going to put lights in the kitchen. And we're going to put light above the dining table, I think, separately. I mean, I guess if we put this here, that's actually... I want to do one that's a bit long, the longer one. Is it that one? Yeah, that's a bit lower. I think that's nice. And then we change the lighting to be a bit warmer. That actually lights up the kitchen just fine. I'm afraid I have nothing to trade you with, Chris. I'm in the same boat, and I'm very sad about it. I wish that I had to trade some cooler temperatures, but unfortunately, you know what? If she moves in here, we'll actually have like she'll have money, or money. She'll have money. Sure, she'll have decorations. But actually, that's kind of cool. Considering that she's a painter, I do feel like she would get creative with her space. Does that make sense? Let's get another hanging plant over here. And maybe one more. I think that would be such a reasonable space to put hanging plants. Okay, for the bathroom, I think what I might do is I might actually repeat the tiles that we have in the kitchen so it becomes a little bit more cohesive. Yeah, that's the thing. It went up crazy fast. Like, I woke up at 8 and it was already like 24 degrees. Like, I didn't even have time to properly just, I don't know, air out my house in the morning. We definitely, because we're going to live here with a toddler. I mean, we're not actively going to play here, but I want to make sure that it's actually a playable house. So we're definitely going to need a bathtub combo. Those are unfortunately a little expensive. I want to have one of those. Hold on. This bathroom is actually pretty large. I want to have one of these. One of these cabinets. And then, considering I have the space for it, I would like to use my... I have like a typical toilet plant, but maybe we should spice it up a little bit and change it up a little bit. We have the bathroom, and then we would have a sink. Let's grab toilet paper before I get roasted by you guys for not giving them toilet paper. Hold on. This is cute. We can have that next to the bathtub with like the baby towel on it. The koala is adorable. I love it. Let's get a mirror as well. Something like, is this a bit smaller? Yes. Perfect. And then I want to have something up there. Like a little shelving or something. I hate that I can't put anything up on this thing. Like everything moves below. That's not what I want. Yeah, something like this is what I was talking about. And then I think a bath mat would be really nice as well. There is one, and I always forget what the first swatch looks like. But there's like the rest of the swatches, this one, are really nice. The first swatch is so ugly. But then it has this one. I love to use this one. It just doesn't really fit in this bathroom, unfortunately. But I'm thinking maybe just this yellow one. Yeah, that works. Okay, let's make that a bit warmer as well. I love how I'm going for like quite a warm apartment, but I actually kept the blue on the walls. Oh, yes. Sounds good, Esther. Thanks for letting me know. We have a break coming up in like 3 minutes. So then I'll take a quick bathroom break. Hold on, because this is too cute for in the baby room. I wanted to have like some paintings. And then this apartment has like such tall walls. It's actually ridiculous. So I'll just use the paintings here to kind of fill the space a little bit. 'Cause I don't really know what else to put in this particular space. We can have a doormat, but other than that, I don't know. Like there's not much because they have to walk there. Oh no. I didn't even know they could fall off the bed or like the ladders from the bed. That's kind of sad. That must hurt. That does not sound comfortable. Also, I think we can just take... Can we take Amy's furniture? No, because there's a lot of things that we cannot put into her inventory, of course. Like, I don't think she can move out with part of the household inventory. I don't think that's how it works, unfortunately. So anything we can put into her actual inventory would work. But anything else I don't think would. That's okay. Hold on. I really like this thing. Because we have a little bit of space in this to add some decoration. I thought we would have some full... Can we hang stuff here? Oh, yeah. Perfect. There we go. Then we can have, like... I don't know. A hat or something? I don't know. This hat. We're going to put this hat, I think. Can have that weekend bag here. And then... Okay, we have 20 seconds until the ads are going to start. So... Once the ads run, I'll be away for like 5 minutes or something. So please make sure to use that time to also stretch and hydrate and all of those good things. And then I will probably... Ooh, that's a pretty mirror. Let's use that one. Let's use that one. Then I'm going to save now because I haven't done that all this time. And then I'll see you guys in 5 minutes, okay? Hi, I'm back. Sorry, I was a bit slow because I went to the bathroom and then I couldn't find one of my cats. And I was like, "Oh my god." Um she was just sleeping in her little house downstairs. But all day they've been on the bed, so I was just stressed because I don't know, I was like, "What if they escaped or what if something happened or what if I locked them in like I don't know, a wardrobe or something." Has happened before where they sneak into a bathroom and then I close the door and then they're just stuck in there. But because it's so warm, I was like, I don't want them to be stuck anywhere. So I tried to find them and that took a little bit longer than I anticipated. Oopsie. Because also I was calling Toot and she was like not answering. She was just chilling. Um, because obviously to her, like she was not lost. She was just vibing. So yeah. And then I was a stressed cat mom, but I'm back. Um, okay, hold on. I think it would be nice to, even though we have a big light here, also have night lights. Um, if I have my CC on, there are so many lights in my game that I genuinely just can't find the ones that I want to use sometimes. Um, okay. How are we doing? Okay, 28,000. So we're still in budget. Maybe a rug, I think, would be nice. Um, Once because I was calling for him all over and he wasn't answering, but he was just in the bathroom ignoring me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's basically what Toot just did just now. She basically was just chilling downstairs and like trying to sleep, and she was like, "Human, stop calling my name. You're like actually disrupting me." So yeah, I feel like as a pet parent, in a way, you're just always inherently stressed about your pets maybe like getting lost or something. Um, the thing is, in my defense for this one, Toot has in fact escaped. As in escaped, quote unquote. Like she has been to the neighbor's house. Where one of the neighbors will actually come to our house and be like, "Hi, is this one of your cats?" Because it turns out that she actually sneaked out of the front door when it was open for like 3 seconds or something like that. So at this point, I don't trust her anymore. Okay, we're gonna try to get some different things into this kid's room. Um, I actually don't know if Barry is a toddler or an infant, which I guess we will experience. To be fair, because he was I think he's a toddler. Um, I'm pretty sure he's a toddler actually. Um, okay, I kind of want to use in his bedroom like a little bit more cutesy curtains, more like kids curtains. I love these ones. These are like by far one of my favorite curtains. You'll see why in a second. Look, they have like little monkeys keeping them open. Barry's a toddler. Okay, thank you. I'm never sure when they're like on the photo just being held. I'm never sure which one it is. But that is good because that technically means we don't need one of those cleaning things either, those cleaning stations. Ooh, that's a crib. What is this? We need a toddler bed, not a crib. I keep forgetting that as well. Um this is a toddler bed though. I really like this bed, maybe more than this bed. Do we have a lighter version? That is cute. I like it. Let's see. What else? So the thing is we don't have a lot of space. So, oh my god, that's a mattress. Yo, that's so cool. Um I feel like we're going to have to be a little bit creative with what we add in terms of like things to do because obviously Like something like this is just too cute. Like having the little toy kitchen, I kind of want to have it. Just because both kids and toddlers can play with it. And it's just super realistic. Or at least to me, it feels very realistic to have something like that. Maybe I'll put a chair like this. 'Cause I love those. I love chairs like this so much. And then we can have the giraffe light. And just change the color. There we go. I do feel like we need a rug in a little bit as well. This is an end table. Okay. Trying to see. Okay, this would be perfect. Hold on. As like a little wardrobe here in the corner. Maybe we don't need the diaper thing then. Okay, and then we need stuff like toys and things. Let's get the little stuffed duck because I always think that is just too adorable. I didn't mean to rotate that room. We have these books that we can put down there. We can put like a bunch of toys, I guess, on the wardrobe. The Jigglypuff. Oh, that is not the Jigglypuff. What? The Squirtle. Why did I say Jigglypuff? That was weird. There's a small one. That is adorable. I want it. Okay, then I want to have a couple of like functional toys. We can have some of them be in the living room as well. I think that would make a lot of sense. Or just be like on top of this. Guess that would work. Having like something like a Blarfy or something would make sense, I think, too. This would be really nice to have in here. Because that's like a drawing playmat and they can use it to draw so many different things. We can have a toy box just back here, I think. That would be nice. I'm trying to like we have this smaller dollhouse, but I'm trying to figure out where I would fit that. So we don't actually have a lot of space. I guess maybe we could fit it like back here or something. Like that would be sort of realistic, right? Or you know what? We can put it here in the hallway. We don't really have anything else there anyways. Also, I love that we have this dollhouse because it actually feels like a realistic dollhouse. Like the Sims dollhouse, I don't know if you guys have ever seen them, but this is what they look like. I don't know about you guys, but I was never rich enough to have a dollhouse like this. I always had something like this. And then it was like, good luck with your imagination, you know? And that was about it. And then I just had to figure it out for myself. I do think it would be somewhat convenient to have a high chair. The thing is, we're not going to play here, so we don't actually need it. But maybe for the sake of having this feel like a real home for a kid, I think that might be nice. Where's the dollhouse from? Ooh, that's a good question. From Tuds. I don't know what pack it's from or if it's even from a pack, but it is from Tuds. I also have smaller ones from Ravasheen. These also function as dollhouses. They're like really tiny if you really truly don't have a lot of space. Yeah, this is perfect. The Lego blocks, like the shelves here, that could be like where there's a bunch of toys stored away. This is cute. I like it. And then we can have this bookcase here next to the bed. We actually don't have a bookcase in the rest of this house. There's also no computer. Hold on. That's actually something that I think might be perfect in Amy's bedroom. Oh, we don't have a space for Amy to paint. Oh, shit. Okay. Realizing now that that is definitely something we're going to need. Okay, maybe I'm going to move this here anyways. I guess maybe we can put the easel and the little thing here. They can still walk past it, I'm pretty sure. And then we can have a little desk in this corner. I think that would make sense. Like a simple desk chair, and a laptop or something. But like just something that she has a space to work. I guess would be logical, right? Maybe some candles. I think that's cute. Maybe we can add a plant on the desk as well. Also, I'm seeing now there's something in here. Maybe I move this and then I put this on the table. Just like some strawberries. Also, Millie, I'm going to tell you something that you can just take into consideration. You can do with it what you will. But telling a streamer that you are hopping between their stream or that you're leaving to go watch another stream, or basically telling a streamer, hey, I'm not entirely watching your stream, is generally not really accepted within the Twitch etiquette. Because if you put yourself in my shoes for a second, it's not necessarily a nice thing to hear when someone is like, I'm not watching your stream actively. It's not that you're not allowed to do that. Like, everyone can do what they want, and you can vibe with whatever you're vibing in with today. But you don't have to tell someone. Because there's actually streamers that get really anxious about these things, especially if you get in your head about like numbers and stuff, which luckily I'm in a really good place with this. But just in general, keep in mind that for a lot of streamers, stuff like this is not a fun thing to hear. Even though I love Allison and I know that her streams are great, and I love that you are hanging out in her stream as well, maybe announcing it while someone is live is not the nicest thing to do. So yeah, just take that with you. It's still in the end up to you to do with that what you want. But maybe you can take it in consideration. Oh wait, I was gonna put this here, but then I realized we actually have paintings still. I totally forgot this, but we have paintings from Amy that we're gonna take into this apartment, of course. Okay, it's 35,000. That's perfect. I wanted to say we're gonna take 35,000. But honestly, that's kind of perfect. So let's save. That means that right now we're actually finally going to go into the storytelling. Of course. Whenever something happens like that, like I always assume that people don't have like bad intent, right? Because you probably didn't mean it that way. So thank you so much for being so open to the feedback. Also, Sonia, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Is Super Sweet Bot active in these streams too? No, just the co-working streams. If you want to use Super Sweet Bot during gaming streams, you can use it in the Discord. The reason we do that is not because I don't want you guys to co-work. It's mostly because the Super Sweet Bot messages, as you probably have seen during co-working, it makes the chat really full. So it doesn't even work now. Like, we've actively paused the bot to make sure that people don't use it. Because I really like the chat interaction when I'm doing a gaming stream, and when there's so many Super Sweet Bot messages, I just cannot read it. It is so like full. So Super Sweet Bot does exist in the Discord. It basically works the exact same way as it does here in Twitch chat. I personally even love the way that it responds in Discord, like the messages. You'll see your backlog like really neatly organized, which just, it looks chef's kiss. Juke did such a marvelous job. The only difference is that instead of starting with an exclamation point, you will start with a slash. But there's just a chat or like a channel in Discord. In Discord, you have to have the like, I think it's called paper plans here, like the co-working role. Then you see the entire co-working section, and there's just a channel that's called Super Sweet Bot, and it's fully connected to Twitch. So if you set up your tasks in Discord, like let's say in the morning before I start my stream, and then you come to Twitch, you can just type exclamation point check here in chat, and it will automatically like load in everything. Productive planty, that is it. But you can, it also works the other way around. So like if you've been working here on stream during the day, and I then go offline and I raid someone who's not using Super Sweet Bot, or you prefer to just continue to work in this space, you can literally just go to Discord, type /check, and then it will just take all your tasks and you can like continue working. It is so good. The only thing it doesn't do, and that's unfortunate, but I haven't figured out a way around it, is obviously when you're typing in chat here, it counts the petals. If you're working in Discord, you don't get petals. That's the only downside of it. Okay, let's go back to manage world. Let's actually load into Phoenix's save file. Because I'm now realizing that we've spent literally half the stream working on this super random side story. But also, Miss Psycho, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. I have a very brainless 3-hour job, and it's nice to watch a cozy stream on the side. I very much did that as well. When I was having, especially like slow days in the office or something, it was just so nice to have a stream on the side, just like a little podcast. Okay, let's go. I'm actually excited about getting this part of the story sort of into it because I was feeling a little bit like aimless for Amy. Like I didn't really know what she was going to do with her life. But now I feel like the game, again, just kind of perfectly throws something in there that I can use as a little story hook to just build her life. Because it makes so much sense that she's always been like the responsible one. She's the one that's taking care of Phoenix all this time. And she's just really someone who cares a lot about taking care of others, which just shines through her character basically through this entire Let's Play already. So the fact that she then takes in Barry just makes so much sense. For a second, I thought, oh my god, what happened to Phoenix? But it's just someone else. You kind of really are a podcast. I can follow this well without actually having to watch constantly. Exactly. That's also why I love cozy games or like this genre of games where it's not like super intense, like high stakes kind of thing, but it's just like slow, relaxing vibes. You can sometimes like glance over. In the meantime, you can be either working or gaming or like doing crafts or something. Which obviously isn't the case for like every single game. Okay, I do think I will probably eventually give Barry a little makeover because I'm not entirely sure about the outfits. Oh. Wait. Is he aging up? He's aging up into a child. Or is his birthday? Oh my god, his dad died on his birthday. And he literally just hold on. No. He just acquired some of the children's skills. We are gonna cheat that a little bit. Like, I don't need him to be like maxed out on everything. But that is just sad. He basically it's a poor kid. Okay. I think Amy is also gonna bake him a birthday cake. No, Phoenix should bake him a birthday cake because she needs to max out the baking skill still. So she's gonna give him a birthday cake. But yeah, then I think they're gonna move out as soon as he becomes a kid. Then we unfortunately have to give that bedroom yet another makeover though. That's what a mess. Also, wait, she has a bunch of paintings just in her inventory. She has like 2K worth of paintings just chilling in her inventory. Okay. I will put these paintings. Can I put this? Put an inventory. Put an inventory. Amy does not own this item. What do you mean she doesn't own this item? Who owns this item then? She lives here. This is her house. You had a situation in your legacy challenge today when we were getting married in the middle. Oh my god. Listen, the emotional deaths in The Sims are next level. But also brought her back to life by asking Grim. These are literally her... It literally says here, school drawing. Drawn by Amy Price on her first day of school. Oh my god, is that because it's a rental apartment? How does that work? Okay, I'm gonna try something. I truly don't know how this works, but like if I look at their household inventory, they actually have a whole bunch of random stuff. They have Dayton's grave. Because that apparently they own. I have so many. I have so many things. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to try what happens if I put this in the household inventory. And if she moves out, like, I don't know if you can select what she should take, like how that works. We'll see. Really weird. I'm highly confused. But she's already packing up, I think. I mean, it makes sense that if she just adopted a kid and she lives in a TLC apartment where there's literally no space for the kid, that she, like, wants to move out as soon as possible. Take down the wall. Oh, she got a performance gain from that. Slight. Let's go. Of old age and haven't been able to play since. I was so attached to them. I know. That's the thing. I get really attached to my pixel characters as well. And I totally feel you on the whole thing. Of, like, being so sad and not wanting to play. Aw, he's a little singer. Wait, that's actually adorable. Okay, he finally acquired a communication skill as well, so I can now cheat that. Let's see. Let's give him level 3. I don't want him to, like, actually max out any of the skills. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. It's actually kind of cute. Oh my god, I love them. I'm so happy. Ask about day. I mean, his day was not great. I can tell you that much. Let's give him a bubble bath. I truly feel so attached to little Barry now. I'm like really happy that we decided to adopt him. Even though it was genuinely the most random and impulsive decision ever. Until what time does she have to work today? They're jokesters? Hell yeah. Because she's not going to get a promotion anyways. But she is at work until... Oh, wait. No, she was going to get a call from her dad on Wednesday. So we have some time, actually. I thought we were going to get to that today. But then, obviously, I got slightly sidetracked. Oopsie daisies. And while we are waiting for Phoenix to come home from work, though, because she's going to bake a cake, I have a random question for you guys. Well, it's not that random. If you've been in my streams in the past 2 days, you've heard me ask this question multiple times. But maybe you weren't here yesterday or during co-working. So, if you guys want to influence something, go vote on this poll. I'm currently running a poll on my YouTube channel for which game I should be starting a new Let's Play. And there's currently Moonlight Peaks and Animal Crossing are really close. The other two options are Pokemon Pokopia and 2 Point Museum. So yeah, whatever fits your fancy. However, it seems like with the amount of votes still are going up. Like every single time I check, there's at least like 30 new people who voted. So I'm gonna let this poll run until the votes dry up. But it seems like right now Animal Crossing and Moonlight Peaks are quite far ahead of the other two. But between Animal Crossing and Moonlight Peaks, there's only a 4% difference. So that means that you can either solidify the votes if you want the Moonlight Peaks as well, or you can maybe turn the tide if you prefer Animal Crossing. So feel free to vote. Also, Niflera, welcome in. It's good to see you. Usual chaos. Yeah, kind of. We kind of randomly adopted a child. So it's definitely a lot. Okay, hold on. We are gonna go cook a meal. We're gonna bake. And then I would like to bake a cake because I think... Can you put candles on a pie? I don't think so. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna bake a pie and then we're gonna pretend there's candles on there and then we're gonna just like manually age up the person. We're gonna make a banana cream pie. I feel like that's a perfect pie for a toddler. I love all my current legacy heirs, but right after I move to another one, I don't really care about them anymore. I get that too, though. I have this with extended family. No, actually not a Wheel of Doom. Just the game itself. So their uncle, Clappy, from the previous generation, died. in the beginning of this episode. I mean, he was old. He just died of old age. So it's not a surprise that he passed away. But he actually recently adopted a baby. And this baby is almost a child. It's literally their birthday. So their adoptive dad died on their birthday. And they just got adopted into a random family into the world. And I just felt like that wasn't nice. I just felt very sad for this little kid. So then we decided that Amy, being such a responsible and caring person in this family, was going to actually decide to adopt Barry. So we spend the entire beginning part of the stream furnishing the apartment next doors because Amy is actually going to move next doors with Barry. But now Phoenix is actually coming home to bake a birthday cake or birthday pie for little Barry before they move. And that way Phoenix and Barry can also get introduced. But yeah, now Amy actually has a kid and is kind of unexpectedly going to move out of the apartment, which in a way is going to leave Phoenix to herself. But I think that's also, in terms of the moment of this split, to me, it makes sense. Because I was kind of at a point where Amy's story was literally be at home and paint. And that was not a great story for her. So I feel like the game kind of wrote the story for me by coming up with a reason for her to move out. She's still not moving far away, though, because her and Phoenix are really close. And I also like the idea of Phoenix being involved in Barry's life initially. In a way, maybe the fact that Amy now has a kid at least helps her open her mind to potentially also having children. Like, she's definitely not ready because she's still very much having that hole in her heart or in her soul from having a twin brother that she doesn't know about. But I feel like maybe the fact that she's now an auntie is helping her in a way, I think, heal a little bit from, I don't know, wanting to be mostly alone and trying to just thrill seek and live on adrenaline, I think. Okay, so what we're going to do is you are going to go grab a serving from this pie. You are going to go grab a serving from this pie. Oh, I accidentally. Okay, we're still good. You are going to go grab a serving. We can decorate it. Hold on. That's kind of cute. There's a baby. Literally just added today. So you didn't miss much. Grab a serving. Oh, no one can grab a serving. Okay, we'll move it to the table. You can decorate it now. Come on. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. What is your problem? Are you stuck here? Decorate. What is your problem? Can we only do that if it's in the middle of a table? Just like with candles? I think so. Nope. Okay. Can you grab a piece? Okay, you can at least grab a piece. Okay, perfect. We just cannot decorate it, but that's fine. But I guess we can then also give him a makeover when he turns into a child. It's kind of cute that they're all having pie together, though. Can I not drag that to the fridge? Oh god, he's a messy eater. Did we just put that? We didn't put it in the fridge. It's now just floating somewhere. Well, that's great. Hold on. Yep, there it is. Needs to be on a counter to decorate. I tried earlier when it was on a counter, but it didn't work either. But it's fine. It is fine. You can actually put away. Oh god, this is horrible. I hate the messy eater quirk. I'm so happy that we're gonna age up Barry right now, and we don't have to deal with this because just find out if I usually just find the stain clout later when it rots. The thing is, I have had this issue too many times, and at this point, I'm just too aware that this can happen if you don't watch out. Okay, hold on. Use diaper, take clothes off. Okay, I think it has to be an adult to do this. More choices. Actions. Form group. No. Toddler care. No. Relationship. How do I age up? Okay, you know what? This is why we have MCC. Set age. Child. Ta-da! No, the trash can is just a base game. They added a base game version of the money trash bin like a couple of years ago, but I think it might have been unlocked through a gameplay event. Hello? Did I not just change your age? Okay, well, next step is UI cheats. Also doesn't work. Okay. You just don't want to age up. Is that your problem? Set age. Child. What is the problem of this child? Cheat sim info. Where do I do this? Can I age you up in CAS? Does that work? If we're gonna give you a makeover anyways. Middle of the counter thing, I know. It's are they flagged against aging? They shouldn't be. Anyone in my save can age, so they shouldn't be. Obviously, I don't have CAS full edit mode on. Hold on. Yes, I want to cancel. I first have to enter the sheet. I forgot this. Why is it taking so much effort to age up a sim? This is not how it's supposed to go. Oh, yes. Thank you, Esther, for putting that in there. Thank you, thank you. Always a good shout. It should have... There's one mod that I recently installed that is actually not on there just yet. I just realized. Okay. Control Shift C. Hello. There we go. Cast.full edit mode. I actually don't know. Hold on. Testing cheats. It's been a while since I cheated in this save file, and considering that this is my new PC, so maybe certain things didn't transfer, I might as well, just to be sure, double add the cheats. And then we're gonna see if now it works. And then we'll just change them to a kid in CAS, I guess. It just feels so ridiculously lengthy. Yeah, okay, we can actually change them now. Child. Finally. My goodness, that took forever. Okay. We are definitely gonna change your hair. I'm not a big fan of this particular haircut. Something like this is fine. I really don't like his name, but I also feel bad for changing it now that he's literally like, imagine getting adopted as a like full-on child and just be like, no, you know what? We don't like your name. From now on, you're no longer Barry, but you're Jack or whatever. But I am gonna update his outfits just a little bit. Yeah, we're also gonna have to fix that bedroom that we made earlier, because we basically made a toddler's bedroom, but that obviously no longer works. This is such a cute outfit. Like, excuse me, what do you even mean? This is so good. I've never seen this. Actually, the black one is perfect for a kid as like their fancy wear. I feel like so many outfits for the kids, if you give them like a fancy outfit, it just feels way too mature. This feels like something that a kid would wear if you dress them up to look like proper, quote unquote. Barry Allen, potentially he could become a fan of The Flash, yeah. Speaking of, for anyone who wasn't at co-working today, I had a great moment. I had a great time at co-working today. We were listening to 80s music. That was the theme. And then early in the morning, I had already seen that it was in the playlist, but I was like, I don't know if it's going to play. That playlist is like 10 hours long, so we aren't sure if that would play. I rickrolled everyone in chat. It was funny. I also technically with that rickrolled myself because I also didn't know it was coming. So, you know, theoretically, I was rickrolled by myself as well. But I liked it. I thought it was very silly. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I love these big, like the onesies, the bodysuits are just so cute. I have many questions. Mm, I do like to do full body outfits because it saves me time. But at the same time, I feel like there's so many full body outfits in this game. When am I ever going to wear this? Never. It's just not happening. Wait, that's such a cute blouse. I mean, not really his style per se, but I think it is cute. Oh, I love that sweater. We are definitely using this because this is his party wear, right? So it can be a little bit more, I don't know, brightly colored. Maybe he has a cap. Maybe his party wear involves a cap. I don't know why I'm so adamant on that, but I think it would make sense. Or a crown. Oh, that glitches so badly with the hair. Are there no, like, normal caps for kids? Oh, that's because it's set to party. I was like, surely there must be just, like, a normal cap for a kid, right? I mean, I'm also not a big fan of any of the... This one is good. Yeah, I like this cap. That fits the sweater. I think that's very cute. The bougie sunglasses. That is actually, I mean, kind of funny, but I'm not going to keep them. Those are kind of cute. Yes, that feels very appropriate. Okay, hot weather outfit. Let's go for shorts and just shorts and a t-shirt, I think. I love this t-shirt, like this. The colors on this shirt are so nice. And then maybe just oh, yes, he definitely seems like a kid to have the shark slippers. And I cannot exactly say why, but in my brain that just makes a lot of sense. I don't know. None of these outfits are really I mean, maybe this one. It's coming like that will work. Just some more basic colors. Like so many of the colors in The Sims, like the color combos are so out there and so intense. And then maybe we can give him a hat. Like a beanie for winter. Yeah, let's go with a beanie for winter. I like it. That's cute. He's a cool kid. I like him. I'll give him a multi-skill aspiration. I think he's going to do mind and body. And his trait is going to be that he is... competitive. There we go. I like that. Okay, so now the big challenge is going to be that we have to move out Amy and Barry. I have to make sure that Barry and Phoenix actually talk to each other because otherwise Phoenix will not know her now cousin. Nephew? Nephew. I'm sure. Nephew. And then he'll like that would be so weird. It's like, oh, I'm gonna bake a cake for your birthday, but I don't actually know you. And after this, I have no clue who you are. That would be slightly strange. So she is gonna go and oh, she does know him. Oh, they actually have a good family relationship immediately. Damn. Does Barry know Shadow? He does. Slay. That's just because he got moved into this household, I guess. They immediately have like good relationships. Not super realistic, but I'll take it. Let's actually save at this point because I fear we might be fucking something up. If you leave the furniture, you only take what is in the household inventory. But the problem is if the household is splitting up, you can't take part of the inventory, I think. This has been an issue for me for so long that you can't like move part of the furniture with a sim. Which means that potentially in the other house, we're just going to have to re-add these things. But that means that she cannot take her school drawings. Right? It doesn't make any sense. I hate how they work as well because it's like it doesn't make it. You can't like you can split a household and then you can split their money, but not their belongings. And that just doesn't make any sense. But the thing is, we're living in a rental apartment, and I added her childhood drawings to the rental apartment on the wall. I think before she moved in, maybe, I guess. And the weird thing is now she cannot take them because the game's like, you don't own these items. Like, what are you talking about? She literally made them as a child. Okay, but she's gonna move next door. So what we're gonna do is here we are gonna go manage household, transfer Sims between household. Yes, exactly. It forces you to sell all your furniture or take all your furniture. Like what if I want to do half and half? So what I normally do with the half and half now is that I just before I move, I put everything in their household inventory that I want to keep, and then I say sell furniture because then it only sells the furniture in the house but not the thing in your household inventory. No, that's what I tried in ELSWHERE. She's not allowed to pick it up because she doesn't own the item. So I could put her paintings in her personal inventory, but her actual art, I cannot pick it up. But Phoenix cannot pick it up either. So I think it's a bug in the rental, like the fact that they're in an apartment. And when the rent goes up, when Sims buy stuff, like I buy my own couch. Why is your value going up? So true. So true. Okay, we're going to create a new household, and this is going to be Amy and Barry. And Amy is going to take, I think she's going to take 40,000 because then she also will have some money to live off. And that leaves Phoenix with 24,000. Considering that at this point, Phoenix is making a good amount of money herself, I think it would make sense to give Amy 40,000 because also most of this money was actually made by Amy through painting. And now Phoenix can start to save up. I also feel like considering she's aging up in 8 days and probably within that time, she might meet someone and have kids already. I don't know exactly how that timeline's going to go. It really depends on how fast we meet another Sim that I like for her to date. And obviously we still have to get close to our twin brother and stuff. So there's a whole story to tell, but she is allowed to move out of this apartment in 8 days. I think in 8 days she can make a good amount of money. And you can't move it with a household with managed worlds. I don't remember if there was an option. No, you can't. So that's the thing. What I'm doing now through managed worlds and moving the apartment, she's not technically taking any of the household stuff because it's staying with Phoenix, I think. I've always been under the impression that selling the furniture leaves it in the house. Oh, sorry. That's what I meant. Yes. So, there is an option though nowadays when Sims die that the furniture in apartments gets sold, which means I now have a million empty houses and apartments in my world because I've been playing here for such a long time. And I think I should disable that setting, but I can't find it anymore. I don't remember where it is. Okay, so let's create that household. And now let's actually go back. Let's go into the household manager. And then we're going to move. Why is her last name Rose? Amy's last name is not Rose, right? I mean, I can move her in and then just check. And then she's going to move into this apartment. She's going to... I literally furnished it. What actually do you mean it's not furnished? It says furnishings 0. There's furniture there. I literally placed it. I mean, we can try the cheat. There's nothing. That is truly... Okay, hold on. I have a plan. I can put it on my own library. I was like, I can't access the gallery. I had a plan, and then I realized I can't access the gallery because I'm in offline mode. But I can put it in my own gallery. And then I can move them in and place it from my own gallery. I say this at this point in almost every single episode of my Pack Legacy playthrough. The Sims infuriates me sometimes. I feel like this is a perfect example of why The Sims infuriates me. To upload this as a room, though, we're going to have to make sure that we delete walls so it becomes one big apartment. So let's just delete the walls where the doors are. That is also... And we're going to just have to place that back later. Okay, now it is one room, so we can save it as a room. It's a small indie game. What can you expect, you know? So true. How did I forget that? Amy's apartment. Let's put it on my thing. I'm trying to put a house from the gallery and it doesn't work. Any of them. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, So. That is really freaking frustrating. Okay, so now we got it. Now we're going to go to Manage Worlds. We're going to move them in. We're going to see if it's actually empty, but I'm pretty much assuming that it's going to be empty. I don't understand why that's the case, though. Chris. Thank you so much for the biddies. I appreciate it. And I really appreciate that you want to spend your time here as well. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Move household over here into this place. Do you see that? Do you see what I'm seeing? There's furnishings. This game. Respectfully, what the fuck? You know, I just had to knock out a couple of walls. Wait, I don't think I get that, Nymphleura. But that's probably because I don't get the pun that is intended with this. Okay, let's actually go into build mode, place back those walls. The game got scared. The game was like, fuck, she found a way around this. Okay, fine. Fine will work. It just gotta go with the flow. The flow in The Sims is just extremely tedious. But you gotta follow it. I don't think there's any other options. Okay, so what we do is we just place back the walls. This is, I mean, it's good though because we kind of have to go into build mode anyways to change the room from the kiddo because we very much decorated a toddler room and Barry is now very much a child. So yeah, we gotta go fix that. I think we can leave the wallpaper, though. I think the wallpaper is actually really cute. I just think that the rest of the room needs to be updated a little bit. Apartment looks really nice. Thank you. We worked on that in the beginning of stream, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I feel like it's like really small, but cozy. Okay, so like I said, I feel like actually there's quite some things that we can just keep. I'm just gonna delete like toys that are toddler specific, but a toy box, the dollhouse, we then definitely do not need a high chair anymore though. We can remove that. We need a different bed for sure, but I guess the nightstand with the ducky and like this can stay. Maybe we can get a different maybe we can, instead of a chair, we can get like a little desk area. And we also are definitely going to need more space here because the kids' beds are a bit bigger, I think. Let's see. I'm scrolling way too far. That's not the... That's... I don't think that's the right bed. It's so cute, though. I love it. It's too girly, but... I think from that pack, because I think, oh, that's the Dream Team Sleepover. I thought I also downloaded a Princesses and Pirates one, but I might not have that in my game right now, which is also really cute. Let's see, what kind of bed do I want to have? I could go for something like this, and then add something like this. Why is this mattress so long? Something ain't right here. Okay, we're not using that. Can you put an apartment on the gallery when you are online? It's so beautiful. Unfortunately, this apartment is chock full, quite literally. I would say 90% of the furniture is CC. So if I put it on the gallery and you download it, it's gonna be completely empty, unless you have exactly the same CC as I do. But I don't see that chance very likely. So unfortunately, I don't upload builds with CC because then people will have the assumption that they're going to be downloading a really pretty build, and they won't get that pretty build. If you want to get the CC that I have, though, it is listed on my website. So you can go CC shopping. Then I still cannot guarantee you would have the exact same things, but then at least you could build in the same style if you wanted to. Why am I struggling so hard to simply pick a freaking bed? I think those beds, the small beds, are broken, though. I don't think they're usable, which is a little annoying. I might just go for like a really simple bed, to be honest. Can I squish this in here? I do like the Lego blocks still. I think they're actually... Maybe they can just go above this cabinet or cabinet wardrobe. And we can have the Blarfy dog over here. And then I think we should be able to add a small desk into this room, because then Barry has a little place to do his homework. That's not a small desk. It's a big desk. Actually, I said that this would fit, but I'm starting to doubt myself. I'm gonna try. Let's see if we get a small... I don't know if your Sims can walk in between this. The thing is, that also doesn't make a lot of sense. But we can go like this, and I am pretty sure that your Sims can walk in between this. So I think I might just go for that, and then we can just have the desk in this corner. I think that might actually be the better solution. That is what is keeping me from putting CC in my game, although I'm getting more and more tempted to find CC, Decade CC. Oh, yes. If you're playing through the Decades Challenge, I feel like CC is definitely gonna elevate. That's the word I was looking for, like elevate your gameplay, because there's so much good older CC out there. Like old looking CC. But obviously you have to kind of be willing to commit to CC. But the thing is, if you don't really upload your builds to the gallery, it doesn't really matter that much. I think like the biggest reason I'm sometimes struggling a little bit with my CC is primarily because I want to share my builds. And then it becomes a challenge. But if you are not sharing your builds necessarily, it doesn't matter as much. Okay, let's get the friendship bracelet thing. This is where we're going to do the little painting corner for Amy. We can check, by the way. Yeah, so the household inventory is empty. So we do actually have to get painting stuff for Amy as well. I do really like this apartment, though. I'm almost like sad that we're not playing with Amy. Okay, we're going to get this. We can have... No, that's just plants. I thought that was like brushes and stuff. I have a whole bunch of painting CC as well, and I know that she had a little cabinet with painting stuff. Of course, if you search for paint, you're going to find all the paintings. Oh god, I forgot that that would actually make a lot of sense. We need to look for Art Studio. That's the CC set that I want to have. I stopped playing with CC and mods in general about 2 years ago, mainly because of loading times. And to be honest, I got so used to the normal style of the game that I can't go back to CC anymore. I mean, to be fair, I'm using primarily Max's Match, which it depends. Like, I feel like with an item like this, the textures are giving away that it's CC, but there are definitely items where you don't see it's CC. It really truly looks like the game so much. But I still totally understand it. This is not to like get you to UCC again. It's more so to be like, there are options that are not super, I don't know. Like, I never used Alpha CC, for example. Because that's just not really what I like. Okay, I'm just gonna put all of this here, even though technically you won't see that when the walls go down, and we're not really gonna play here. I just like the idea of her having an actual little painting corner here. How long have you been playing The Sims for? I started with The Sims 4 in 2019, so actually kind of late. I was a little bit late to the party. My best friend convinced me to start playing when I was at home with a burnout. So I started playing that. As a kid, I played The Sims 3 and The Sims 1. The Sims 1, I was very young, though. I was like 4. So I played very little. And my parents were a little bit restrictive on how much time I could spend on the PC until I was like a lot older. I never had my own PC as a kid or as a teenager until I got a laptop when I went to study. So even in like high school and stuff, I never had access to a PC apart from the family PC. And my parents were really restrictive on like how much time I could actually spend on the PC if it wasn't for like for schoolwork or something. So ironically enough, that worked out great for them. I always like to joke to my parents about this, where I'm like, yeah, that was a great strategy, huh? This is normal lifespan. So unironically, as a kid, I never consider myself that I really truly played The Sims. Like, I think at most I played maybe 10 hours of The Sims 3. And what I did, I would build a big box and then try to furnish it. And obviously everything looked really out of proportion because I was horrible at building at the time. And then I would close. That was my gaming time. So then I would close the game. So I actually never really got into Sims 3 gameplay. I did see my best friend play a lot. To me, it was almost like my best friend was like my streamer. I just had private streams. She would just like be playing in her, like she had a computer, her own computer when we were younger. And she would play The Sims 3. And I would just hang out with her while she was playing. And then I would just watch her play The Sims. So I feel like I have a lot of memories of The Sims 3, but none of them are my own. So I would say I only started playing The Sims in 2019. As a kid, I had a DS, so I did play a couple of Nintendo games. I mostly play, like, games that I loved were Pokemon, Professor Layton, and Nintendogs. So I don't even consider myself actually a gamer until a couple of years ago. So when I started with The Sims in 2019, it became a hyper obsession straight away. I started playing a lot of The Sims. Like, it just unlocked something in my brain where I was like, oh my God, this is a type of creativity that I've never been able to practice. And for some reason, it's clicking into place. And then I started creating content 2 years later, only 2 years later. If you think about it, it's low-key kind of crazy. And then I was like, oh my God, this is like even better. I did play things like on the Wii, like Mario Kart and stuff, but those are more like family type games. I mean, not to say that you're not a gamer if you play those, but I never played them as a gamer. I played them as like a familiar activity. I love Nintendogs so much. I know, right? Started watching Let's Plays because I missed him. I feel like it's such a special memory that a lot of people from like my generation have, is like someone, like, it wasn't normal to have multiple consoles or to have like multiple computers or anything. So especially when a lot of us were younger, there were only a few, like a handful of people that were actually gaming. And then you'd be like, you could go watch them game. But you had to go to like their place physically. You couldn't watch it online or anything. GTA like games, and he always refused to go on murder missions when I was there. That's so cute. Okay, so Phoenix now in fact lives here by herself with her cat, Shadow. And oh, I forgot to hang up the paintings. Amy actually has 2 paintings in her inventory that I still want to hang up in the apartment. Okay, we'll do that another time. I'm not going to go back again. What I am going to do, though, is I am actually going to sell the stuff that we have here in Amy's apartment. Or in Amy's room. For the simple reason that I think eventually we're going to use that room for something else. Okay, we can sell the painting stuff because that we indeed no longer need. But I'll keep her childhood paintings then. Did she woohoo someone to death again? No, her sister just moved out. Okay, we can save now. Good shout. Your story with The Sims is so similar to mine. I played The Sims 1, 2, and 3 sporadically, and by the time Sims 4 came out, I was an adult and bought it with my own money, but due to work, I couldn't play a lot. I didn't really get hooked until early 2020, around the time Dream Home Decorator came out. Oh, do you also feel like, I think everyone who's played The Sims, like no matter what point you stepped in, there is that one expansion pack that you have a very vivid memory of because that's when you were like peak on. Like that was like your peak Sims time. And then they released a pack where you were like, this is it. Because for me, I bought a lot of the expansion packs. Obviously, they were already released. So I started playing. I ended up buying more and more, got really into The Sims. And I feel like I don't remember which expansion pack they released first, but I have a very, very vivid memory. And I think this is before I started creating content. But it must have been 2020 because we were already working from home. And they dropped the trailer for Eco Lifestyle. And I called my best friend because it was 5 p.m. So it was right at the end of our workday. I called my best friend and I was like, there's a Sims trailer. We have to watch it now. And we watched it together. And we were freaking out because I saw the ladders straight away. And she was like, no, you're making it up. There's no ladders. I'm like, girl, just use your eyes. There's ladders. We were like freaking out about the fact that there would be ladders because that was so game changing for building. So Eco Lifestyle for me has a really special place because that was the first time in my memory, that they released a big expansion pack that was like actually hyped about. Until the DS when I was 9. And that's thanks to my friends with multiple siblings who would share a gaming console together. Yeah. I had a neighbor who had a DS, and I was always so jealous because she was allowed to like play on her DS so much. And then I wasn't even allowed to have a DS. So my parents were like, yeah, you have to save for your own console. Like if you wanna game, like if you want to get a Nintendo DS, you're gonna have to buy it with your own money. The thing is, I still have it though, and it's still oh my god, no crap. Okay, well, I guess she's throwing out the pie. That wasn't really what I wanted to do, but alas. I am gonna try. She's gonna work on her programming skill, I think. Let's just practice programming. I know, it was a very fun community experience. Yeah. You know what I sometimes feel weird about with The Sims? Because I think this is like a very weird middle ground, but I think maybe you guys will understand this and probably relate to it as well. Obviously, the whole situation with EA is like really shit, right? And a lot of us have decided, you know, with this buyout, I'm not going to purchase any more packs or anything. Like this is the final straw. Also, there's lots of bugs in the game and stuff. Like I said earlier, like the game sometimes really infuriates me. But I think there is a feeling that I have had, which now that you mentioned this specific thing, Lex, I think that's like, I finally sort of, it clicks into place how I want to word that feeling. I think a lot of people have gotten really angry at creators that are like still playing the game or that are still buying packs or whatever. And part of that anger comes from the fact, like in a way, it's almost like one of the stages of grief where people are angry and they're like directing that anger towards all kinds of different spaces. But I think what you're saying now, like I think for a lot of people, The Sims is like such a safe space and such like a comfort space. And there was a couple of years where this game was like peaking, right? We were all like so excited about packs and CC and mods. And, you know, there was like this time where the Sims community was like blossoming and popping off. And I feel like that was very much like 2020, 2021, 2022, basically. And obviously there was already some like toxicity in the Sims community because that's unfortunately just kind of what the community's like. But so many people felt so positive about the game. And in a way, that got taken away. Like, you didn't control that. You didn't decide that EA would get sold. You didn't decide that there were so many bugs in the game. You didn't decide all those things. But all of a sudden, you do have to let go of something that's bringing you so much comfort. And it's like, in a way, it is just grieving that loss of like, yeah, I used to have a home in this community and now that's just torn away, which really freaking sucks. And I think a lot of people tend to step over that sentiment. They're just like, you have to immediately be like you have to like make the right decision. You have to no longer play the game. And if you do, you're like a bad person. People get like really black and white about it. Whereas I think a lot of people in the community just feel sad that this got taken away. I discussed that with some friends. I don't agree, but I start The Sims 4 a year ago, so I'm buying some of the DLC. See, that's the thing. Like, in the end, it's your own decision what you do with your money, and how you want to use your money to support certain things or how you want to spend it and stuff like that. But I think in general, like, a lot of people tend to focus on the should I not buy or support The Sims instead of focusing on, hey, you know what? It collectively just really fucking sucks that all of us had a home in this community and we loved this space and we all felt really safe here. And it was like one of the places where we could be ourselves and tell like wonderful stories. And that's being ripped away from us. Even though we don't, like, we had no choice in that. We were just playing this game. We were just vibing in this space. And all of a sudden, that just gets like polluted, which that's like a specific thing that I think a lot of people experience in different places in the world right now, where you're just chilling in a space and all of a sudden there's like AI. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing here? Get out. This was my safe space. Like, it's really frustrating to just be in a space and just continuously see all the things that you don't want, that you're like, actually, I'm playing The Sims to, you know, escape from life a little bit and just have a safe space to just relax in. Be like polluted by stuff that's so out of your control. It's super sad. Yeah, exactly. It feels tainted. That's a really good way to say it. It feels tainted. Yeah. The Sims splits away. Oh, same. Yeah. I like, listen, I've said this many a times and I don't even think it's unreasonable. I think it would be a challenge, but I don't think it would be unreasonable. What if Maxis starts a crowdfund for people to buy out Maxis Studios from EA? If every simmer were to contribute one worth of expansion pack, you know how much money that is? Obviously, like, and there might be people that would like to spend more, right? Because in a way, it would potentially be buying like shares or something. Like, maybe you could do a voluntary contribution, or you could actually buy shares in the company or something like that. But like, I feel like there could be done something, but then again, EA has to be willing to sell it. And I don't know if that's realistic, but also, hi, Sender, welcome in. But I think a lot of people would be down to save The Sims. Also the future of The Sims. Not just The Sims 4, but like anything that could come after. Oh, I feel like $1 per simmer would already be a lot. But I don't think you should underestimate how much money The Sims would be worth to buy it. Like, there's 5 million simmers. If every simmer donates $1, we have $5 million. You cannot buy The Sims with that. Unfortunately. No, you don't dislike programming. You're a hacker. You love programming. What do you mean? But still, I feel like that it would be... Yeah, exactly. I don't think they're going to sell it because it's a cash cow. Oh, no. The Sims is not a small part of the profit margin for EA. The Sims is one of their cash cows. The Sims is one of their biggest cash cows. Because tell me what other game in the current EA lineup allows them to bring in $2,000 per player with the potential of more. Not compared to the sports games. I think you underestimate how many people play The Sims. More people play The Sims than people play FIFA. There's more simmers than FIFA players. EA released the report in the end of, I think it was 2024, And since then, FIFA has declined. The amount of players of FIFA have declined steadily over the past couple of years. There were more Sims players than FIFA players. Obviously, like, there are still Formula 1 games and stuff, which is also one of their cash cows. But the Formula 1 games is one game. And then, like, every year they get to release one new game. The amount of expansion, the amount of content for The Sims. Like, if you buy everything, that's $2,000 for a game. It's like a steady income, exactly. FIFA players are going, but it's just gambling at this point. Yeah, I've heard some pretty bad things. And also, I was talking to Scott about this. I feel like, in that sense, FIFA is also suffering from something that's completely unrelated to gaming, which is when I was growing up in football, you would have players, like legendary players, that even though you were not invested in football, like myself, you would know. You would have heard of this player. And when that player would switch teams, like let's say Ronaldo, when Ronaldo was switching from Manchester to Madrid, you wanted the new FIFA because you wanted to have the new version of the game where Ronaldo was no longer playing for Manchester, but he was now playing for Madrid. Nowadays, there is a lot of soccer players that are just fine. They're not like bad soccer players by any means, but like there was a time where there were like, you could count them. Like you needed two hands to count the amount of like infamous football player, like famous, really cool football players. Nowadays, there's like a couple, maybe two or three, but you're not going to buy a new FIFA game every single year because those players don't rotate as much. But I don't know how much. Trust me, if I tell you that it is a cash cow for EA. I have this is not just like something that I am making up based on hunches. There is multiple reporters who have done like deep dives into EA reports as part of this buyout that have confirmed that if you just simply look at the statistics and the sales, and that cannot be pirated because then it wouldn't be logged as a sale. And also, the amount of simmers that is logged as players for EA would not be pirated players because they are not logged into EA to play the game. It is truly a really big cash cow for EA. So I don't think they're going to give it up unless it starts performing badly, which the only way for us to get it to perform badly is if we stop buying it. Not even sure if Max's would survive. They would need to do another Sims game, but it means a lot of resources are needed to support. Oh, 100%. 100%. I think there could be like upsides to Max's going solo. Like as a studio. It would mean that in a way they're going back to being a less established studio, which I don't know if people are going to be okay with them releasing a less established game, therefore. They could be bought by another bigger studio. That's not EA, but like another one. I don't know, Rockstar Games. Just throw a random name out there. I don't think that's going to happen, though. So, yeah. It isn't impossible, though, to crowdfund things back to life. It is a big challenge. All the free stuff and moving the kids there. It's 100%. 100% Lex. They need to keep the sales numbers inflated and to like paint a more positive picture. But in the end, it's I've said this a couple of times, and it sounds really harsh to say because I'm literally playing the game and I don't plan on stopping to play the game. But if you just look at the numbers, The Sims is a dying game right now. So unless something drastically changes, this game has a finite lifespan, which for a long time, for a lot of us, it didn't feel that way. But if you look at just like statistics of people engaging with this game online, the Twitch category for this game is dead. Whereas when I started streaming, on average, on like a quiet morning, there would be at least 2,000 people watching The Sims. This would be a quiet morning. Like, pick a random Monday morning. If you now look at the Sims category, oh, there's no food. Oh God, we actually have to cook food. Crap. If you now look at the Sims category, on a Monday morning, there's maybe like 60 people. On YouTube, every single person who creates Sims content has seen their views half or even quarter. So, like, and that's just the people that are actively engaging with Sims content, which means that is the people that are already really into the game. Because you're not going to consume content around a game unless you're like a second degree invested player. If you just casually play The Sims sometimes, then like you're not going to engage with content. So imagine how many casual players have dropped off because the game was buggy. They're like, yeah, fuck it. I cannot be asked to continuously do updates and like fix everything. So I think the free stuff is used to inflate their sales numbers. Yes. And they are trying to get you to open the marketplace to download free stuff to then be enticed to buy something else. I think downloading the free stuff isn't necessarily bad. I think it's fine. A lot of people still play The Sims 2 and think Sims 3. True. 100%. Oh, for sure. For sure. That's what the buyout was basically the nail in the coffin. The game was in a very precarious place where with all the bugs and all the issues going on, a lot of people were kind of on the verge of like, I'm done with this game. Like, I'm frustrated. No, you're all good. That's just because we have EA as a block term. So if you guys your messages are getting blocked, that's not because you guys are saying things that are not allowed. We have it as a block term just to make sure that we can moderate the conversation like this a little bit better. Like, let's say someone comes in and just says something completely, I don't know, overboard or something that's not respectful anymore, then we can flag the messages a little bit easier. But yeah. I have never seen a shelf so much ugly in The Sims when it oh, yes. It gets horrible. This CC gets disgusting when it gets dirty. I never bother to clean my counters in The Sims. Like, I'm always a bit lazy and then I do it eventually. With this, I actually clean them immediately because it's horrible. It actually looks like there's mold growing on it. But yeah, it's just like, I think altogether, it's just really sad. It's really sad to see a place that brought so many people so much joy and comfort get to a position where it is now. I think like no one is happy about that. Whether you were already someone who was slightly frustrated by the game, whether you... What is going on with her legs? Sorry. Why can I see her hip bones? That is super fair, Purple. That is super fair. And I think in this, just like with anything in life, just stay true to your own values and your own integrity. And like, obviously listen and learn and like be open to being corrected. Like, you know, getting new information and adjusting yourself. It's probably Reshade, yeah. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. But I think in the end, like, it is up to you. Everyone is living their own life, and you have to do what you feel comfortable with. And at the end of the day, no one else can decide for you what the right decision is. Like I said, I think the most important thing is that you're open to listening and learning. And yeah, as long as you keep that open mindset, I think you're already light years ahead of many other people. Yeah, I think it's Reshade for sure. It's just sad. Personally, this game has been my whole life from The Sims 1. Yeah, it is very sad. And I think the buyout completed actually today. I think today is the official day. It was crazy. I saw a post today that, like, sometimes when these things are put into perspective, you just realize like how bad or like impactful they actually are. I don't know how many of you guys remember the buyout of Ubisoft. It's a long time ago. Ubisoft is has 2 million in debt still. Was it 2 million? 2 billion? I don't remember either. And they were like, yeah, doesn't it feel like they've been paying that off forever? The Sims will, as of today, have 10 times that amount of debt. 10 times. I didn't get their email about it, actually. No. I think. I just checked. Maybe I did. I didn't. I just checked both of my email boxes. Starting Mundo before knowing about the buyout and the issues with it, and now I really want to expand my gameplay as I'm learning more, but I can't. Yes. That's the thing. But I did see a post this morning, and that was not even related to The Sims. It was related to something completely different. But it was, I think it fits this circumstance. Because I think it's something that we can all sometimes like take to heart. We can think about it. If you want to do something out of protest, if the protest is feeling comfortable for you, it's probably not gonna work. If you're doing something like something small and you're not like actually doing something that's like rough to do, yeah, that's the thing. I would say like pirating at this point, if you really want to get more Sims packs or more Sims game, that would be the way to go. I mean, I love the sentence, if buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing. Because let's be real, if you buy all the Sims packs, you don't even own the game. You own the right to play. So, you know, if buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing. I kind of like that saying. I mean, if I were to buy it and I then own it, that's a different story. But yeah. I feel like, unfortunately, for a lot of us, the fact that we're protesting against this buyout by putting our money where our mouth is, it is a very uncomfortable process because it just sucks. It's sad. It's frustrating. It means that you are limiting yourself, and it's unfair that you have to limit yourself to do something or like to stop something that wasn't even your responsibility to begin with. Crazy, the right to pay. Yep. Can we get that as a quote? I would use that sometimes. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I think there's some tutorials on YouTube on how to do it, if you want to know. Also, if you ever like comment something like this on my YouTube videos, I will delete it simply because technically it can be against like certain policies for games and stuff. And like, I still want to make sure that I remain in good standing in the gaming world when it comes to like potentially working with sponsors and stuff. So if you comment something like that on my YouTube videos, not because I don't want this to be out there, but just simply because it's also my job. And I have to make sure that, like, you know, I stay in as a person, as a business, I have to stay in a good space. And if that makes any sense, as a person, as an individual, please go ahead, do your thing, find the tutorials and get the game. That was like an important distinction to make. As a business, I cannot support this. Unfortunately, that's just, you know, how the business works. But yeah, exactly. As a business, we're following the law. As a private person, yeah, exactly. So like, it can get you banned and stuff like that. So I mean, also the fact that I'm like entertaining the conversation here now a little bit is already walking the fine line. But obviously it's a Twitch stream, and Twitch streams do have a shorter lifespan, and this chat is not somewhere on my screen. But just keep it in mind. Also for yourself, like very vocally talking about this stuff online, if you run into the wrong people, it could get you banned. But yeah. Ooh, that's actually a good question, Mike. I'm not entirely sure. I think it depends on... yeah, I was about to say, depending on what you use. That's a good point. If you have the game itself and you're just pirating the packs, hypothetically speaking, of course. Or do you don't want it? I mean, I like the quote, but I think for the reason that I just explained, maybe not. Again, I hate to be this, like, I don't know, sort of gray professionalism kind of but again, I do have to keep it in mind. Yo, did you see that? She's sick. She just sneezed and that looked absolutely disgusting. Let's order some medicine. Also, we will very soon find someone to raid because it's already quite late. Well, let's actually buy some medicine for ourselves. But thank you for asking. I appreciate it. But a lot of builds can be downloaded, trade files offline. That is true. That is true. Hello? Did you order it? Oh yeah, you did. Let's actually take medicine to be rid of our disgusting illness, because the way she just sneezed was actually gross. Also, I think we actually have to go to work in a little bit. Oh, 1 a.m. Oh, wait, it's 8 a.m. Did she just skip a work day? Our lovers, I like showing my bills on the gallery and through tray files, and sometimes with the gallery being so annoying. That is a good point. I don't think I've ever done a tray file download. That is intriguing. Okay, hold on. I want to check what is up with Shadow. Because Shadow is not happy, and I want to make sure that Shadow is happy. I love how I had such a good plan for today in terms of like the storytelling, and then it got completely derailed by just one single event at the beginning of stream. But to be fair, I feel like that's a really good part of storytelling in The Sims, is the fact that you sometimes just get completely derailed. I swear I'm hearing Minecraft's pick step, but I know I'm not. Maybe this lo-fi song is similar. What happened? Okay, so as you can see, Amy no longer lives with us. Our uncle Clappy died. And Clappy had adopted a kid. But then I kind of felt bad for the fact that that kid was adopted and then immediately got adopted again. So Amy ended up adopting the child, and Amy moved next door. So we now are neighbors with Amy, and Amy has a little apartment here with Barry. Barry is the child. Unfortunate for Barry, Barry was actually a toddler, and it turned out to be his birthday. So his adoptive father died on his birthday, and then he got adopted into a random family. No, Amy is not the twin sister. Actually, she has a twin brother. Amy is just her half-sister. So yeah, we spent the entire stream furnishing that apartment. We can actually go visit. I can show you guys. We're not going to take Shadow. The family tree is slightly complicated, but I can quickly show you. Hold on. So, oh my God. Dr. Joseph had another child. We now have another half-brother. She has so many siblings. So we have Oliver as a half-brother. We have Pandora as a half-sister. We have Miracle as a half-brother. We have Amy as a half-sister. We have Henry, who's a half-brother, but he's already died. And then we have Barry, who's a cousin. She only has half-brothers and sisters because Plum Bobby had a little adventurous life. And then so she actually does have a brother, like a full twin brother. And then she also has a half brother and another half brother through her other father that she doesn't know yet. Like, she knows him, she's met him, but she doesn't know he's her father yet. But she's gonna go say hi to her sister. I think that's actually kind of cute. She hasn't seen her sister's apartment. I think that might be a cute end to stream where she's like gonna visit Barry and Amy in their apartment. I just think that's cute. And then you guys can see it if you missed it earlier. Gorgeous loading screen. I love the loading screen mod that I have. Like, it keeps switching the images and it's so nice. Okay, so this is the apartment. This is Amy's bedroom, as you can see. This is just our little kitchen, little setup. This is Barry's bedroom. Amy's little painting station, simple bathroom. It's like nothing super fancy, I feel like, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like it's a good apartment for two people, right? And I imagine that like Amy painted this herself. Like, she painted this mural, because obviously she's a painter. Yeah, it's just like, it's a cozy house for the two of them. Nothing super special or big or large or like fancy, but I really like the vibe. I like the colors in this house a lot. And yeah, I love that they get to live here with the two of them. And this is Barry. And like I said, Barry's had quite a life. Maybe put up the paintings. I can't because they're in Amy's inventory. So I can't do that. I actually have to fully switch households to do that, which is why I've been postponing it, because then is that a toddler bed for a child? No. This is a full bed. We initially had a toddler bed, but then I changed it out. Because initially when we adopted him, he was a toddler, but this is a full kid's bed. But yeah, that's the house. So, no, I'm visiting. I'm visiting. Otherwise, it would have been a great idea to quickly hang up the paintings for sure. But I figured she could go hang out with her sister for a little bit because she has a whole day ahead of her. So she can just hang out with Barry. She can watch TV together. Oh, she has a holiday. That's why she didn't go to work. Oh, the holidays are bugged out again. I think it was Harvest Fest. But I think with all the switching between the household, that got fucked up. Because that's why she didn't have to go. I was like, why did she not go to work? And it was like, I was like, it's 9 a.m. in the morning. Why she's not at work? But she had a holiday. So that means that she only works tonight. Okay. So next time we play, apart from, because the thing is, we had this storyline idea that her father is going to call her on Wednesday with like his emergency help. I don't know what to do. And that's when she's going to find out he's her father and stuff like that. That means that she has one more workday ahead of her. And to get another promotion, like her performance is really good. So basically we need to reach level 9 of mischief, but we're really close. And level 6 of programming. But I think we build that skill if we are hacking or making viruses. The holiday was until 2 a.m. Yeah, but it just told me that she made money. So I guess she didn't go to work, but she goes to work at 1 a.m. So if the holiday was until 2 a.m., when her workday started, there was technically a holiday going on. I think that's what happened. But that means, oh, you mean like for the, oh, that's why it's not showing. I was like, now I get it. Yeah. That's why there's no overlay. Okay, but that means that like next episode, I'm going to try to get her another promotion because we're level 8 of the career. So if we can get to level 9, that would be really nice. But I think I'm going to leave it here for now. I don't exactly know when we'll get back to this. Because obviously I've now done it like 2 Tuesdays in a row, but next week on Tuesday we're doing a Lego stream. So I can't do Not So Berry next week on Tuesday. And considering we have Minecraft Mondays and Farming Fridays, at least for now, I want to keep those because I'm really enjoying that. And next week I am not doing a Wednesday Palea stream because we are doing a reading stream on Sunday. I don't think I'll be back with a Not So Berry challenge for like this week. And the week after we're doing Town to City again. So it might be a little while. Missing the Lego stream. Oh no. I'm sorry. Save with the, there is a sim on my save with the name Skip Broke. Yeah, isn't that just a townie from EA? Isn't that like an older sim from older Sims games? A sim from older Sims games? I think Skip has some lore actually. I feel like I remember this. That's a sim, Sims 2 sim that can't, yeah, see? I was like, I feel like I remember this. Okay, so let's see where we can go for today. But yeah, I promise I will come back to this. I'm not going to take another like 6 months break from the Not So Berry challenge because I am actually really invested in the storyline. And I even love that we had so much random things happen today, that it was like so spontaneous. But like a spontaneous good story, because sometimes I also get derailed in The Sims with just like the most random side quests, but it doesn't actually contribute to the story. But now I'm like, no, this actually contributed to the story very well. And I love that. So I am going to see who we can raid. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have a Palea stream. So tomorrow morning I will be streaming some Palea in the morning. And we're going to continue our bundles and our quests. So I'm excited for that. Let me see who all is live. This could be cute. I have an idea. How do you guys feel about going into another Legacy Challenge gameplay stream? Really cute frog pin. I'm glad you like it. I got it as a gift from my boyfriend. He went to a bookstore and he saw this pin and then he said, I bought it for you because it reminded me of you. And then I was like, because I'm a green frog? And he was like, no, But I think this is going to be a good raid. They have been live for a while, but they seem to be very much still in the middle of what they're doing. So I think this is going to be a good place. I really like their streams, so I think you guys are also going to enjoy it. So yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out here. If you are not part of our Discord, that's where you can find the schedule with both timestamps in your own time zone as well as what we're going to be doing on those streams. If you want to check out any of my other socials, you can do so as well with the link that was posted in chat. I'm primarily active on Instagram. You can also check out any of my YouTube. Oh, I think they're ending. Frick, they're ending. They just went to their big talking screen as well. Yeah, they're ending. Okay. I'm cursed. I am so cursed. I swear to God, I always pick people that are ending their stream. I am so cursed. Okay, where we go? Let's see. I have to pick someone else. The funny thing is there's no one live in the Sims category that I actually know, I think. It's been so like I used to know everyone in the Sims category, but that's a long time ago. That is a really long time ago. That's actually kind of wild. I just realized that. Okay, so we're going to do a little blind raid. We're going to find a new person. And this person is building with a lot of CC and it looks very dope. Oh, I think I want to go here. I think this is nice. They're building a Western build. And they do not only just play The Sims, they also play other games, which I feel like is actually a really good fit for you guys as a community, because I know that at this point you guys also enjoy variety. But I think this is going to be fun. So let's go over here. Western as in horses? It seems like that. Yeah. I don't know if they actually have horses, but that kind of vibe. Very much like ranch vibes, but they're building with a bunch of CC and it looks super dope. So if you guys want to come along, let's go here. Like I said earlier, all the links are posted in chat. If you're going to come along on this raid, feel free to copy pasta one of the raid messages. We have ones with emotes if you're subbed to the channel. And then we have ones with regular emojis if you don't have a subscription to the channel. I'll set up that raid once we're on the end screen. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope to see you guys tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I'll be back with co-working on Thursday or gaming on Friday. We're playing Stardew Valley on Friday evening. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.